What it do? What it do? Yeah. These guys are fucking ugly, man. I just can't. Um,
Cantina chicken burrito, only at Taco Bell.
Thinking I'm gonna start cutting carbs. I need to drop my belly fat.
If you want to drop
walking down the street,
Yeah.
or the cat part. I met you while I was on live, so you guys remember. So number one, my first question is: could you share your early experiences and the messages you received about dating with
Oh,
Afro
you cut
Latino?
off. Can I have that question again? I'm sorry.
Oh, it froze.
Yeah, I froze.
Oh, yeah, my internet. Okay,
Yeah, mine is not
could you
great. I'm sorry.
could you share your early experiences and the messages you received about dating within your own Afro?
okay, so apparently, she's, um, apparently well, how do you can say this? She's Venezuelan, Afro Latina, uh, Venezuelan from Venezuela, and she migrated through northern part of South America to Ecuador, I believe, or Peru. No, actually Peru, because that's where Austin met her, in Peru. So yeah, so she's gonna speak. You know, I just came up with a new argument, and I was just thinking, it's like, okay, so these guys always talk about race. They always talk about the one drop rule. Um, these guys just can't let go of that fucking racial topic. Like, it's just so ingrained in their heads. Like, if they keep talking like this, I just came up with. If they keep talking like this, they're gonna get in trouble. Like, I'm sorry, like they don't people in Latin America don't think like that. It's like they actually are focused in their culture. Like they're so ingrained in their culture, while you guys are so ingrained in race. Latinos are so ingrained in their culture, while you guys are so ingrained in race, because you have no culture.
Community in Venezuela? Like, for example, what were some things as a young girl you were taught, let's say a teenager or even younger, that you were taught
hmm
about dating amongst your own race in Venezuela? And how did that influence your perceptions of the black men in Venezuela?
That's a good question. I don't think I was necessarily taught directly any particular message. The thing with growing up as a black person in Venezuela is that everything, the racism that I want to call it, is so ingrained in our culture that the messages are subconscious, are so ingrained in our vocabulary.
Obviously, she's a reject, and she's cooking to the Western world, and she's gonna say that, and she's gonna say that, oh, there's racism, there's colorism, and I'm like, yeah, that's not true. Compared to America, the colorism in America is way worse than in Latin America. Latin America is like not even a lot. Like,
In our traditions, the way that we refer to black people. But let's just say, like, oh, you have to. I would hear things like, oh, you have to marry a white person so you can improve your race, or and that would be like a quote unquote joke. But those are the type of messages that I grew up in and listening. And I think subconsciously I started creating beliefs about, maybe black people are not the ideal. And whites or white people or Caucasians are a little bit more of a goal and they're put in pedestals. So I wouldn't necessarily say that, oh, I was taught, no, you shouldn't marry black, you shouldn't hang out around black people. But it was an underlying current that those subliminal messages, let's call it that way, that I would constantly receive, that made me create I believe about Black people in general.
So how did that make you treat those black people if you had those subconscious beliefs about them?
I wouldn't treat them in a way that is particularly negative. I would just think that maybe if I can, and this is me talking about dating, dating wise. So I would think that maybe if I could get someone light skinned or a white person to date me, that would and somehow would be an achievement. That somehow that would be, oh, I got something, I got the prize, and that thought wouldn't be the same for someone that looked like me.
Wow, that's very, very interesting. Okay, so how did the advice of bettering your genetics by dating a white man affect your self-esteem personally? Like, how did that make you feel knowing that you were black?
Bro, why are you fucking talking like this, bro? It's not white, black. Nah, bro, like, just say Venezuelan or gringo. Like, did she did a gringo?
That you felt that the white was the better the way to
What the fuck, bro?
improve your race? How did you feel about yourself?
Dude, the white Latinos, they don't identify as white like that, bro. They're also just dropping that shit away. Like they don't. They should say they should name their nationality. Like, oh, I'm Mexican. Oh, I'm They don't really use the white like that. Like even Argentinians, like yo, I'm Argentinian. Like they don't really Messi. I'm Argentinian. Like he doesn't really see race like that.
About myself, and this is something that I've obviously recognized and that I was able to change. But at the time when I was a young girl, I would see it as a social currency that somehow
And this is why you guys would never be Latino. This is another argument. Like you guys keep talking about race. You're not willing to let go about race. If you keep pushing that shit, you will get put on check. Like I'm not threatening or anything, but like it is dangerous down there, bro. Like there's no freedom of speech down there, bro. In Rome, you do as Romans do. That's just basic common sense. Like you guys are going into the trenches. Like Latin America is not safe, bro. That shit's ran by criminals.
would elevate me or put me in a position socially that would benefit me. And that is something that now as an adult,
If you be watching the news right now in Mexico, it's a fucking it's election year. You know, it's getting close to the elections and election day. Election day is getting close in Mexico, and yeah, there's a bunch of violence. Journalists are dying left and right. Like, yeah, I don't think you guys realize. And I mean, yeah, people lose their life every day down there. You just watch the news, like, it's insane. Like right now, Latin America's on fire. And like, you really want to be a pastor, bro? Like right now, like, yeah.
I recognize in myself and I was able to change. But unfortunately, that some those are things that I still see around, and not only with with Black Latinas, but also Indigenous Latinos in general. That
Oh my fucking god. Indigenous Latinos as well. No, bro, indigenous in America, like even in America, like the indigenous looking Latino, they're just Latino. Like most Latinos look like that. So they just say they're Latino. There's no such thing as oh indigenous Latino. No, it's just Latino.
we just perceive
In America they even get this. Like in the United States they even get this. Like if you say you're Latino and you'll be looking brown, then oh okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because you know Latinos in the U.S. for some reason are reputed as being brown looking like Jennifer Lopez, George Lopez, like just brown looking.
white race and Caucasians as this aspirational thing, and that we could somehow get social currency to elevate us in society some way.
Okay, that's very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So
Hmm.
my third question for you is: in what ways did these social societal pressures impact your relationships with Afro men during your formative years? So you kind of touched on this a little bit more, but I guess during your teenage years, I asked you how did you treat other black men, and you said that I guess you kind of already answered this.
Yeah.
You kind of go ahead.
Yeah, I just wouldn't be particularly interested in black men. It was just okay, they're just people. Like I said, I would never reject them or like, oh, that's gross. I was just, no, maybe that's not my type. I maybe disguise it as, oh, that's not my type. And this is something that I saw a lot growing up. You know, I can think of 3 people that I would call friends at the time that would tell me, oh, don't tell.
What? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, just preference is preference at the end of the day. Like, even Americans know this. Like, preference is preference at the end of the day.
Anyone. I like black
Like, okay.
men. Like it's something that you shouldn't like, or that they would tell me the opposite. Like, oh, I don't like black people. I mean, I can be your friend, but I just don't like black men. I'm talking about women. Oh, I don't like black men. I don't like it. And they would say those things to me, which I now find.
No, they're not talking like that. I'm sorry. They're not saying, "Oh, I don't like black guys." When they say that, but when they say that, they're talking about Black Americans. They're not talking about Afro Latinos from Latin America because they don't really identify as Afro Latino. They don't. They just identify by the country they're from in Latin America.
Strange because I don't know. I don't find it particularly something that you would say like, oh, I just don't like this race. And we can go into like preferences and all of that, but to say that to someone that's black, in a way, it makes you feel like, oh, you're not desirable if you're not careful. That's a message that you can internalize when you have a lot of people say, oh no, I don't like black men or black women. So yeah, I've had people tell me those things.
Okay, so what would you say that what would you say your family would look at you as if you did bring a black man home?
Well, that's I don't know if I can answer that because growing up I was bullied a lot because I was
Black American, they're not gonna like you. You guys are fucking ugly. You guys stand out. Again, I can't repeat this, so you guys stand out. You guys over here talking about race all the time. The way you dress, the way you look. Like, you guys down there make hand gestures that make you look weird. Like, I'm sorry, like, the way you move your body, your hand gestures. Like, you unconsciously move your hands and arms weird. Like, you don't realize this yourself because you're a fucking gringo. And it's okay. It's okay to not recognize that. It's normal. But like, you make hand gestures that make you look fucking weird and you don't realize that you unconsciously make hand gestures. And that's okay. Because you're a gringo, you're an American. And so when you make these hand gestures, you fucking the closest thing I can compare it to is the Italians. If you see Italians from Italy, if they come to America, you're gonna see like, okay, like, he's Italian. Look at the way he's moving his hands. Like, that's the closest thing I can compare it to. Like, you guys make hand gestures that snitch on yourself. You guys stand out. Like, you guys over here, like, trying to put in your Western ideas, your Western brain into Latin America, which you can't do that. I know you guys think about race, but over there, down there, it's not a thing. You guys, if you keep this up, you guys will get put on check. Like, it's dangerous down there. Like, there's lots of evidence on the news right now. Mexico right now has their election a year. And you guys are fucking misogynist. Like, I'm not talking about, like, misogynist. Like, when I say misogyny, like, I'm not talking about, like, the traditional, woman, cooks and clean for the husband. And, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, real misogyny, like, beating on women and just being an incel. Like, I'm talking about just being, like, just wanting to hurt women just for no fucking reason. Like, just, like, beating on them and shit for no reason. I'm talking about, like, these guys are like that because they hate their mom. They have mommy issues. These guys have a lot of hate, like actual misogyny. These guys have real misogyny in their brains, and they're taking that shit down there to Latin America, which is also another thing. Like, yeah, they're gonna get put on check.
I was usually the only black girl around in school in my classroom, and I was bullied a lot growing up because of my skin and my hair. So I didn't date a lot at all actually when I was a teenager. So I don't know if I can answer that. Like, my family wasn't expecting that from me.
So they bullied you behind your hair and your skin tone.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, they did that, but they still treated you as a human being. Like, they didn't really, like, okay, they made fun of your hair, so what? Like, they still see you as part of their community. You still see you as Latino. They still see you as Latino.
They would make fun of me in many ways. I find it funny now, but yeah, I got bullied because of my hair, and that's why I ended up relaxing my hair for so many years because I just wanted to have straight hair like anyone else.
So when did you come to realization that this ideology was having an impact on your personal life yourself?
I don't think Austin realizes, but like if like this content, like talking about the one drop rule, like they're just talking about the one drop rule for clout for people from the Western countries or from America because this is how they think. I don't think Austin is realizing this, but like if Brazilians see this shit, yeah, they're not gonna like this shit. They're gonna put you on check. Like like you're not gonna you're not gonna gain respect from Brazilians if you tell them about their YouTube channel and they see that you're catering to Americans with this ideology, then yeah, they're gonna cancel you. They're not gonna talk to you. They're not gonna take you seriously. They're gonna see you as dishonest and just ignore you. They're like, okay, yeah, this guy's American. Like, look at the propaganda he's pushing on his channel. Like, you're not actually making videos about Brazilian culture. You're not solely doing that shit. You're also trying to cater to your American audience. So, therefore, by default, you're an American. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers be tripping out here, bro. You dig? God fucking damn.
Self-esteem. Like when did you realize like why am I not wearing my natural hair?
Yeah, I think it started around maybe I was 19. I'm 30 years old now, so a long time ago. So I was 19, and I just, I think it was on YouTube, a girl on YouTube. She was a natural girl from the US, and she had this channel years ago about natural hair and how she grew her hair back from relaxers. And I was like, oh, that's the thing. I didn't even know that existed because, mind you, I grew up with my mom's side of the family, which are not black. So I had no clue about black hair and black anything. So I think that's when the journey started, to, oh, there's a different side of black culture and black things, and that we have characteristics that are unique to us, like our hair. And that's when I made the decision to, like, you know what, I'm not going to straighten my hair anymore. And it took me a long time, black hair, like curly hair, grows really slow. So it was,
Okay, so yeah, she's a reject.
and it took me a long time, black hair. And I was like, oh, that's the thing. I didn't even know that existed because, mind you, I grew up with my mom's side of the family, which are not black. So I had no clue. Yeah, I think it started around maybe I was 19. I'm 30 years old now, so a long time ago. So I was 19, and I just, I think it was on YouTube, a girl on YouTube. She was a natural girl from the US, and she had this channel years ago.
Oh gosh, she's looking up to women in the U.S. She's a reject. I'm sorry. She's not. She's not Hispanic. She's not even Hispanic, bro. Hispanic car strip. No, I'm joking. But she's definitely not Latino. She's not Latino at all.
About natural hair and how she grew her hair back from
Latino car revoked. You're looking out to Americans. Latinos don't do that.
relaxers. And I was like, oh, that's the thing. I didn't even know that existed because, mind you, I grew up with my mom's side of the family, which are not black. So I had no clue about black hair and black anything. So I think that's when the journey started, to, oh, there's a different side of black culture and black things, and that we have characteristics that are unique to us, like our hair. And that's when I made the decision to, like, you know what, I'm not going to straighten my hair anymore. And it took me a long time, black hair, like curly hair, grows really slow. So it was like 2 years of not relaxing my hair and waiting for it to grow out. And at the time, nobody was doing it. Now you can see curly hair everywhere, but 12 years ago, it was like nobody was doing it. And I was like, everyone was like, what are you doing? Why do you have just crazy hair out there? So yeah.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I think you should keep it like that. So
Thank you.
how prevalent is this mindset in your community, you would say? And are there, or let's say in Latin America, how prevalent do you think this mindset that you experience is like, yeah, how prevalent do you think it is? Because I would say I noticed it at first whenever I went to, like, I always heard people talk about it in Brazil, but I never seen it because in Rio and Salvador, there's so many black people that all black girls there can't have a white man. So you still see them dating black men. But when I went to Montevideo, Buenos Aires, and Lima, there was many occasions where I would try to, oh, look, these are chicks that look like you, like light-skinned Afro. And I did it on live. Some people watching right now saw it, and I would speak to them. They can't hear me talking to them, or they don't want me to talk to them at all. And then I turn around and there's a mestiza, and she gives me the time of day like they should have. I mean, they don't have to do anything, but I'm just saying. So how prevalent it is throughout Latin America? Do you think that's very common?
I think it's common, but I think it's also getting better. People are being like more accepting. I definitely would say Venezuela is still strong in having those pseudo racist opinions about black people in general. But actually, in Lima, I found a lot of acceptance. I think people are more curious here because they don't see a lot of black people. But I think we still need some work to do for sure.
So would you say the further you
Yeah, what are you talking about? There are black people in Peru.
the generations you go back, it's worse, or is it more accepted the older the person is, or
There are black Peruvians. Like there are black people all over Latin America. Like Peru isn't Peru bordering. Isn't Peru bordering Colombia? Like Cali, Colombia is a black. Yeah, like Cali, Colombia is next to the Peruvian border, or Ecuador. Ecuador also has lots of black people, black Afro Latinos. So what are you talking about?
the younger
Oh
people have
no. No, the older, the further you go back, the more internalized the racism is. And my father
Yeah.
would say that my father is a black man, like darker than you, and then obviously darker than me as well. Like, and he would say like the most racist people is black people.
really?
Yeah.
What was his
In Latin
reason?
America, in Venezuela, because it's an internalized racism, is knowing and accepting that you are less than, and that someone that is lighter or
Okay, so I'm sorry. Like if black Americans go down there, those guys are gonna choose her father. Venezuelan men are gonna choose her father over black Americans because you're a fucking foreigner. You don't know the language. You don't know the culture.
closer to being white, and it's better, and it's how it is. You have sayings like common things like, oh, I'm working like a black person, or you're doing this because I'm the black one, right? Like when you do something bad, or someone blames you for something, you're blaming me because I'm black, right? Even if you're white or black or mestizo or whatever, this is just sayings that are so ingrained in our culture that are a reflection of that internalized racism.
Okay, I can understand that completely. So the
Mhm.
next question I have is, have you encountered? So you said that they're more accepting in Lima, because I was going to ask you, have you encountered similar ideologies in other Latin American countries? What countries have you been to in Latin America?
I haven't been to like other countries in Latin America. I've been exposed to the culture through media, like internet, and here you get a lot of tourism as well. So, and I worked there. I went, for a moment, I worked at a place where I interacted with a lot of tourists from all over. But yes, I've been to just Venezuela, Trinidad, and Tobago, Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, quickly through Colombia, Ecuador, and now here.
Okay, so would you say that it's in some areas of Latin America it may be worse? Like, how would you compare? How would you compare that this mindset of? Because I'm pretty sure it's in Lima, like you said, probably more so with the indigenous
Hmm.
Peruvians. How would you compare? What do you think is a big difference between the experience you had in Venezuela to what they would have in Peru?
In Peru, it's like I said, it's more of a curiosity. It's something that they don't see all the time, even though there are like black communities here. They're smaller, a lot smaller than we had in Venezuela. So here it's more a curiosity thing. They've never seen like hair like mine, and they're very welcoming in that sense. In Venezuela, we're more mixed, and we had a lot of European immigrants back in the day. So there's this idea that, if you're a European, that's better. That puts you in like a notch up, like a level up in some way. So yeah, I felt the rejection more. Maybe it was a personal experience. I don't know. I could be, but yeah, I felt a lot more rejection back in my country.
Okay, so let me ask you: is your mother white?
She's not white. She's like mestiza, like
Okay,
more like indigenous. Probably she has some Spain DNA there, some black too. So, but she doesn't look black for sure.
okay. So
What the fuck?
how do you think that? Do you think that media or
Why are y'all like this is disturbing? Like she's not white, but she's more mestiza. Like all these words, like she said she's Venezuelan. Yeah, she's not white. She's fucking Venezuelan. Period. What the fuck?
let's say, yeah, do you think that media plays into contributing to the racial and dating norms? Like, for example, when I was in Brazil, if you turn on the TV, there was no black people on the TV, but when you walked outside, it was a lot. There were plenty. There was no shortage of black folks when you walked outside.
Yeah.
So, do you think that media plays a huge role in keeping that ideology alive?
Especially back in the day. I feel like I'm like an old person, but yeah, early like 90s, 80s, 90s, or 2000s, early 2000s, when we didn't have social media like we have today. I think media played a big role in not having a lot of diversity shown, and people in power, especially in Venezuela, like they looked a certain way. I don't think I've ever seen like a black person represented in the media, like it's or the government or anything like that. And I think uh, like a decade, 2 decades ago, yes, it definitely played a role in it. Even in telenovelas, telenovelas in Latin America are huge. So I've never seen a leading role with a black woman or a black man. Never.
Yeah, 'cause there's Latino unity. Everybody's united. Or like nationalism. There's lots of nationalism. They're all united. Like they're speaking under their fucking dialect. They're speaking their dialect. They're Venezuelan Spanish. Every Latin American country have their own unique Spanish dialect, and there's a reason for that. So the Latino community cannot be conquered by the Western world so easily.
I think that exists, and if it does, well, if anyone can correct me, but I've never seen a telenovela with a black person in a leader role.
I would agree. I think the only black leader I've heard of, like on a federal level in South America, was the vice president of Colombia. But outside that, I don't think, if you look up the federal government of Brazil, there's all white people there. But Brazil's majority black. So there's definitely.
What are you talking about? Those are just Brazilians.
It's definitely, the media definitely portrays it in a way where you wouldn't even think that a lot of black people are down there. I remember when I first started traveling, we had a bunch of American women like, oh, those are white women y'all are dealing with down there. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, there's non-white people in Latin America. Like, they had more slaves in Latin America than they sent them to Africa either. So what discussions, if any, are happening within your community about overcoming racial stereotypes and promoting more inclusive attitudes for dating? Like, is there anybody bringing up a discussion on how they could fix that scenario?
I'm sure there are. I'm not familiar with anyone in particular. Maybe I've come across a few like influencers, but I don't really. I'm not really like an activist. I don't have that activist streak, but I'm sure there are. Yeah.
Okay, good. So do you feel like there's any media that's trying to promote a solution to this? Like, there's people trying to, like in the United States, we have people that want to encourage black people to be with other black people,
like influencers, and are starting to have those conversations. So yeah, I would say so.
Yes. Sorry, what'd you say? It froze at the end.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it just froze.
Yeah, what'd you say at the end?
I don't remember. What was the question again? Let me see if I can rephrase that. I don't know.
Do you think that there's anybody on social media in?
Oh yeah. I think there are a lot of people. When you scroll on social media, you definitely find people speaking about it. And if I'm going to give you my opinion on it, I think the conversation should lean more towards leaving that victim mentality instead of you have, like, forcing people to understand us and to try to feel, because sometimes I feel that the messages come across as you have to feel pity because you treated us bad in the past, or you have to compensate for all the things that we've been through. And I think a more productive message would be, hey, let's understand our experiences, but from now on, let's just leave that victim mentality and try to work with the tools that we have, and just try to start seeing people as people and not.
I hope she realizes that the reason why Austin is like talking to her in the first place is because he himself self-hates. Like, he put himself next to a light-skinned Afro-Latina to portray the fact that, to flex her, just to flex her to his fans. Because these guys self-hate. They love light-skinned women with real hair. Like, he self-hates. Like, he's not going to Jamaica. How come he's not going to Jamaica? How come he's not going to Haiti? How come he's not going to Africa? How come he's not promoting Africa? He's mostly promoting. He literally went back to Brazil. He went back to Brazil. He's not like, go back to Africa. Like, he's not gonna do that because he's self-hates. At the end of the day, he knows that Latinos are attractive. He looks ugly. He can't compete with some men. But he still wants to be there for some reason. And be a weirdo. And stand down and look ugly. Like. And while they're down there, they're comparing Latina prostitutes that they're with to actual local American women like a weirdo. While they're being lazy, they don't want to build. They're doing this digital nomad bullshit. And they themselves would never be Latino, even though they try to learn the language, because they're always ingrained, they're brainwashed, and they're always ingrained talking about race. And they also don't have no family down there. Like Brazilian men down there, they're family oriented. They know how to build. They know how to use their hands. They're outside in the sun using their hands. You understand? You dig? And they can't compete. They're fucking ugly. Like, Austin is fucking ugly. All these American male passport bros, they're fucking ugly. Like, they can't compete. Latino men are the most attractive men on planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? they're the most attractive men on planet Earth, while American males are fucking ugly. That's why they're going into their countries. They always self hate. They want to be in bed with light skinned women again, while they attack their own black American women. And they sell a lie of getting a wife in Latin America. You know, they're over here using Hispanic women as a weapon to attack their own American women, while they're also pushing the one drop rule.
Identify so much as skin color.
Well, let me ask you this: what is considered black in Latin America? Because I've met some people in Latin America that would be identified as a mestizo from Mexico, but they would say that they're black. And I was like, yeah, if you go to the United States saying you're black, they'll laugh at you. So what is the difference between what is black there?
It's what you look like. I don't think it depends on, it's just your ancestors and your genetics. It's just.
And when the evidence is just pulling out, the evidence is just coming out, like, of these guys are getting drugged and robbed. Like, Latinos don't like gringos. They don't like y'all, bro. And the evidence is pulling up was Medellin, Colombia. Like, they're fucking protesting. The evidence is just coming out of my pockets like fucking coins. These motherfuckers are fucking annoying. Pass me the fucking joint.
Do you look black? And if you don't look black, you're not black. And it's so it doesn't make it right because it's very subjective. Because you can be the black person and be super light skinned, and we all know that. But that speaks on the state of the conversation here. Like, what is really black? So I would say it's just the way that you look like and the way that you ultimately identify with.
Okay. I can understand that. So, how was your perspective of this ideology evolved over the years? You told me you pretty much grown out of it when I met you in person. What were some pivotal moments of change for you? Like, what were some key moments where you started to wake up? Like I asked you before, when you started to wear your hair natural. What are some other moments you had like that?
I had my phase of being. And I don't want to fall into politics right here, but I have my moments when when Obama was running for president, and that that whole thing it reaches Latin America because we're so influenced by America in general. So I was following that ideology of, oh my God, I'm a black person, and I've been through so much, my ancestors and slavery and all of that. So I would say around that time, 2008, I was learning more about it, but I was definitely leaning more towards I'm going to play the victim card, that my people have been through so much and the world owes me something. And that was a moment where I would say, after Obama won and so many things happened, and I was so proud of it because the first black person in the biggest nation in the world is a black man. So, but then after that, I started to realize that things are not black.
He's not black. Obama is not fucking black. He's biracial. This one drop rule shit, dude. She's Americanized. She's a Westerner. I'm sorry. I'm done. Like, I just can't. She knows everything about the fucking Western world. Even me. She knows about the Western world more than me. Like, I'm sorry, like, I was born and raised in America. I was born next to the Mexican border, so, I was born in the United States of America, and she knows more about American culture than me, and she's living in Peru, and she, I'm sorry, like, what the fuck, like, even I can recognize that, yo, Obama's not black. Why are you pushing the one drop rule? Like, god damn, that's most Americans can acknowledge that he's biracial.
And like there are a lot of gray areas, and
she is super ingrained in Black American culture. Like, white Americans, like, they'll acknowledge that, okay, yeah, he's biracial. Black Americans, they don't even acknowledge that. They're just like, fuck that shit, he's just black.
In the subject of being a black person, and in my very personal opinion, it's so important not to fall into a victim mentality because you're gonna get stuck.
Okay. So could you talk about any personal or public figures besides Obama that influenced on race and dating? I know Obama was that probably was the most impactful, would you say?
Well, but not in dating.
Well, I guess it could affect dating, right? Because if you see a black man in a position of power, it could change your perception.
Yeah, it could. I guess it could.
He's not black again. Austin, you're fucking ugly.
But yes, what affected me on dating? I think like dating for me in general is it's been a very personal, very unique to me experience. First understanding that maybe my experience is going to be affected by my race because there are certain mentalities still present in America with people having their opinions about black people. But once I understood that, okay, let's just focus on the people that are interested. And here, a lot of people that are interested are usually or white man or just foreigners. So because they're not like locals are not very interested.
Wow, locals are not very interested. That sounds bad.
I mean, that's fine. I don't want no one that doesn't want me. Oh, that one's
I can agree with that. Yeah, if they don't want me, I don't want them either.
Yeah.
C Man sent $5 on Super Chase.
Or white man or just foreigners. So because they're not like local, my experience is going to be affected by my race because there are certain mentalities still uh, present in America with people having, their opinions about Black people. But once I understood that, okay, let's just focus on the people that are interested. And here, a lot of people that are interested are usually or white man or just foreigners. So because they're not like locals are not very interested.
Locals are not very interested. Shouldn't that be ringing the bell in your fucking stupid brain? In Rome, you do as Romans do. You're going against their fucking culture, therefore you're their enemy. That's not rocket science. It's a natural behavior. It's normal as a human being to, you know, see other people as enemies if they're against your culture or be tribal. It's normal to be tribal. It's a human instinct.
Wow.
Especially if you live in a poor developing country where you don't have electricity or running water. You're gonna be tribal.
Was not very interested. That
No,
sounds bad.
And they have the right to defend their culture.
I mean that's fine. I don't want no one that doesn't want me. Oh, that one's so
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Oh, she deep inside is like, no, I'm rejected.
If they don't want me, I don't want them either.
yeah.
C Man sent $5 on Super Chat.
Austin, you're fucking ugly. Like, why are you in Brazil then? Why did you go back to Brazil if you don't want them? Like, this is Brazilian culture. Like, you're not gonna change the way they think. You're not gonna change their culture and and establish the one drop rule in their culture. You know. So if you don't like them, if you don't like Brazilians, then get the fuck out. What are you doing in Brazil?
Jay says, do you align with the divestiture movement and date white men, or do you identify as a Black woman and date Black men today?
Do you like what's divestor movement?
Divestor is people that like invest is to put into something. Divest is to take away. So you're taking away from the Black community by marrying out, breeding out. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think I'm taking away anything from anyone because ultimately I see myself as a human being. I don't identify with that community. I'm a human first, and I just happen to be Black. And when it comes to dating, I'm just interested in humans, in persons, in character, and values. I'm not interested in, oh, let me see how much melanin you.
Okay, so she's not. Okay, so the Black American community, like, they're not for the LGBT. Like, they're not for it. Well, I mean, they have repression. They're part of the LGBT community. Like, they're in a closet though. They have that strong repression in them. They have sexual repression in them.
Does your cells have, So I'm not taking really anything away from anyone.
Okay. So have you? When was the last time you said you dated a Black man?
A Black man. Well, I haven't dated in like 4 years, but yeah. No, it was actually when I was like, I'm 30.
Not surprised. I mean, the way you're talking, not surprised. The Peruvian men are not looking at you. I mean, they see you as just a gringa. They see you as just an American. They're not gonna look at you.
30 now, maybe when I was 25. Yeah.
A Black man.
A Black guy.
Okay. And you?
I'm sorry, I got cut off.
You said you've not dated in the past 4 years.
Yeah, since the pandemic.
Okay, interesting. So, what support systems or resources have you found helpful in navigating and challenging societal norms, like a therapist, or have you used anything besides yourself to overcome that mindset?
A lot of personal growth. If I could, I would do therapy. I think it's helpful for everyone.
Yeah, Latinos don't believe in therapy like that. Yeah, she's Americanized.
But there's a lot of resources online. One of my favorites, Jordan Peterson. I listen to a lot of podcasts, with just people, industry leaders on personal growth and just realizing that a lot of ideologies are put in us and beliefs are put in us by our environment. So, just leaving that that box that the society puts us in. So, yeah, it's personal growth and being intentional with the things that you listen to and try to be smart about it as well,
Yes, exactly. So C-Man sent $5. That was a very politically correct answer. I guess you're trying to say, if you prefer white meat, say it with your chest.
I don't prefer white meat. I prefer good man. And if the man happens to be Black, I welcome it.
Okay, so Ted sent $2 on Cash App. Thank you very much. And Mojo sent Mojo.
Yeah, this is just pure fucking.
Correct answer. I guess you're trying to say, if you prefer white meat, say it with your chest.
I don't prefer white meat. I prefer good man. And if the man happens to be black, I welcome it.
Okay, so Ted sent $2 on Cash App. Thank you very much. And Mojo sent $25 for a great interview. Thank you very much. It is a very good interview. We have a very mature guest, and you people in the chat are very. I've never seen y'all act so childish like y'all are. Y'all are about to have a baby because I said Brazil was majority black. Anyway,
I want to read it.
how do you approach conversations about race and dating preferences with younger generations?
I think actually younger generations, like your generation, are very open. And I was reading an article about it the other day. Like Gen Z is like the most open generation there is right now when it comes to dating. They're willing to date Indians, black, white, mestizo, like whatever. So I think they are the ones that maybe have something to teach us, like the millennials or even further back, and to be a little bit more open and to.
Oh god, dude, Austin's fans are like, how dare you? How dare you tell us you're not day out? I'm saying, how dare you? How dare you tell us to date Becky? How dare you tell us to date Becky? Oh hell no, she's a feminist. Becky's a feminist. I prefer white Latinas from Latin America.
I focus on the things that really matter, which are, in my opinion, values and goals. Have similar goals, similar values, and having the same view of the world. Those are the things that truly matter. It's not, are we going to have babies that are black or the same color or whatever. So, yeah.
Okay, that's a great answer. Vulcan, thank you for the $20 super chat. I appreciate you very much. We got another question. So, can you provide insight into the historical or cultural origins of this mindset within Latin America? Like, what, like, black people are criminals in the States? That image comes from old films that came out in the 1900s or
Huh? Gotta connect my laptop. I'm listening.
Okay, I forgot the name of the film. There was a film that came out way back in like 1908, I think it was, and it was showing like black people being rapists, being criminals. I don't know what the name of it is, but there was a movie that came out like that depicted black people that looked like that. So we gained those stereotypes. What would you say in Latin America was that equivalent? Like what made the Birth of a Nation was the name of the movie? Birth of a Nation. It was an extremely racist movie, but it was very racist. I seen it. But what was the? I would say this too. When I was dating a chick in Peru that was Colombian, and somehow we got on the topic of Latinas being. She wanted to do something that was against my standards or a boundary. It was against a boundary. She wanted to do something that was very whore-like. And so she's like, oh, well, like, Latinas are like, this is normal for us here. And I was like, okay, well, like, it can be normal, but that doesn't mean I have to fuck with you. And so
okay, what was it? Wait, you don't want to share that? What was it? Or it's something that you prefer not to share?
No, no. She wanted to display herself online. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not even dealing with it. Like, we can hook up and all that, but I'm not going to deal with you seriously ever. So she brought up like, oh, well, just because you're black, I didn't think that you were criminals. I was like, oh, they have that same perception of black people down here too, that we're just a bunch of criminals. So where do you think that comes from? Like, how did that?
No, bro, there's a lot of Afro Latinos who are famous celebrities. Celia Cruz was a Hispanista. Like, she did not fuck with y'all gringos. Like, yeah, like there's a lot of celebrities, Afro Latino celebrities in Latin who are famous in Latin America. Neymar, Pele. Like Pele has to be the top number one. Like, he won 3 World Cups. Nobody has ever done that before, and he's proud to be Brazilian. He doesn't give a fuck about y'all gringos. Like, oh, in Latin America, it's the same. They portray us like white folk in America. They'll call Kanye West the N-word still, even though he's a multi-billionaire. That's your culture. I don't know anything about that. That's fucking weird. But in Brazil, white Brazilian men are over here wearing Pele shirts. They're not calling him names or anything. They actually respect him as a Brazilian man. Like, y'all Americans are weird. Like, I don't know why you guys think, like, that's your culture. That's your thing. Like,
in Latin America, what is a black man's reputation, and how did they come about?
Well, I don't know if this is the same in like every country in Latin America, but I don't know the origins of it, but I've definitely heard something like that here in Peru. Something that I've never really heard back in Venezuela, but here people refer to like criminals or sketchy people as negros. Like, oh, there are some negros over there, and I don't really know where that comes from. So I don't know. It's not like in the United States where you have black neighborhoods or anything. No, it's different because here everyone's kind of a little bit mixed. So you have in the barrios you have people from all ethnicities. So, but I don't really know where that necessarily comes from. Historically, I know that at one point in history, at least in my country, there was this program called like the whitening of society in like 40s, 50s, whatever, where they brought a lot of Europeans to the country to whiten it. But I don't know if from that, people started to get the idea that black people are criminals.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I will tell you a couple things that I learned was like in Argentina, they sent black people to war so they would kill them off that way. But then they limited how much success a black they basically limited black men to have the lowest level of success, where their women would be pretty much forced to date somebody that could actually provide for them, and that led to them fixing them out. And in Brazil, when they liberated slaves in Brazil, 80% of the population was African slaves. And of course, they were intimidated by that, so they actually encouraged the whole whitening the race. They encouraged that everybody mix. That's why Brazilians look the way how they do now, and they Italian and German immigrant Europe. So for people that are saying like, oh, like Brazil is like 10% black, I mean, I don't think that they breeded all of them out like that. I mean, I don't expect. I'm expecting too much from some of y'all in the comments anyway. So can you?
Cool story, Austin. Thank you for the Thank you for lecturing us about Latin American history. Thank you. Thank you for saying the same shit that every fucking American male says.
Provide insight into the historical or cultural or okay, I already asked you that. Damn, I just asked you. Okay, what role do you think education plays in changing these deeply ingrained societal beliefs? Like, do you think in the education system they're trying to work out these deeply ingrained mindsets that you need to breed out?
I think there has to be a change, because if you're interested in history, and this is something that I think we talked about it when you were here, I'm also kind of like learning history and interested in history. And one of the things that you're going to find when you start learning about Latin America historically and the role Spain and the empire of the Spaniards had over us. And this is, I don't know if there's an expert in history on the chat, but this is kind of like a touchy subject, because history is being taught in Latin America in a way where Spaniards are portrayed in a negative lens. And there's something called the Black Legend of Spain history. And when you look into it and you see the true history of that empire and the reasons that they came here and all the tools and the information that they gave us, there wasn't really, their goal wasn't really to kill like the indigenous or get rid of them, or no, it was just to bring all the information. And of course,
Okay, so she knows about Hispanidad. She knows about Mestizaje and Hispanidad. So, like, I'm confused. So, even though she knows about this shit, she's still siding with gringos and Western people? Like,
they had their agenda of, okay, culturally, we're going to impose this to the society, but at the end of the day, the cultures that we had here as indigenous, as well, mainly indigenous, weren't the best. So ultimately, the best culture won, and that's the culture that where we are currently living. So I think improvement will start by changing the education system and implementing the real history of the Spain. I don't know how to call it in English, like El Imperio Español, the Spanish Empire. I think
the conquistadors.
The conquistadores, yes. So I think that would be a good start. So because the way that it's been told right now is that those evil people came here, colonized us, and now we're creating resentments. And that they colonized us because they felt that they were superior in many ways. So they decided to bring the blacks, kill the indigenous, enslave the black, and it wasn't necessarily like that. So if you first look into the Black Legend, if that's how it's called, La Leyenda Negra of the Spain history, and you learn how things really happened and not the way that it's been taught in Latin American, all of them, Latin American schools, that's when you can start shifting the mindset.
wait, what? Hispanidad? Wait, what? They don't tell you about the black. Well, I'm not gonna speak on that, but I'm from Mexico. I'm gonna speak from Mexico. They don't teach the black legend in Mexico. They just teach you the ideas of Christianity and Catholicism. They hold on to Hispanidad. They just teach you about Catholicism. They teach you about the morality of Christianity, and that's it. They teach that we're all God's children.
It wasn't necessarily about race. It was more about status and power and money. That sistema de castas that it was implemented in Asia a lot, like in India.
Mm-hmm.
It was in a way implemented here, but not in the same way. It wasn't necessarily about race. It was more about status. And there was a lot of mix of black, indigenous, and Spaniards based on status. So when you really look into it, it wasn't the same sistema de casta that is still actually implemented back in India, when it was purely about skin color and whitening of the whole thing. Here, it was a little bit different. I think that because that was back in the day when they colonized us. More recently, we had this other program of whitening of the society, but that was more recently in the last 100 years. I think the shift there really happened mentally for black people.
I've never heard that. In the United States, they teach us pretty much the same thing that you just said. Like the English came to the United States and they killed the indigenous and brought the blacks as slaves.
I know, because that happened. The English colonization was different. The Spaniards did a different thing here. But the English one, yeah, that was like the French thing that they were like, what's the name? What's the word I'm looking for? Like, they were murderers, basically. They were ruthless. The Spaniards, it's different. And I would highly suggest, you look into that. It's really interesting.
I'm going to have to look.
Yeah, you have to look into it. For the first time, Austin is realizing that the Anglos are different from Mediterranean Southern Europeans. He's realizing that Scandinavians are not the same as Southern, swarthy Italians. like the Scandinavians were Vikings. They didn't have a written language. They were uncivilized. The Romans, who were Mediterranean and Southern Europeans, had to colonize them and civilize them. Later on, the Anglos and the Germans had to adopt the Latin alphabet because they didn't have a written language. They had to adopt the Roman or the Latin alphabet. The Spanish and the Italians already had the Latin alphabet implemented in their language, and the Scandinavians took it from them after they conquered after they conquered the Western Roman Empire in 760, I believe. So yeah, this is why they're super. This is why the Scandinavians are super tribal and like we gotta protect the white race. They put the fucking crosses and the triangles, the Nordic symbols.
Look into that because I've
They tattoo themselves Nordic symbols like triangles and shit and squares.
never heard that. That's interesting. So I'm gonna have to look into that. Do you know who wrote that?
It's like a combination of like different people and books. So you just have to start like Google Leyenda Negra, like Black Legend of Spain history.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up because I would love to know who wrote those books and where they came from because that plays a big role. I know in the United States they're trying to get rid of the slave history and stop teaching it, but I think that they're doing it just so they can teach as if it didn't happen, which sounds similar to what you just described. But not the same, but it sounds similar as if they want to rewrite history.
Yeah, that happens a lot actually.
No, they're not trying to rewrite history, you fucking idiot. That actually happened, bro. The Black Legend didn't happen in the Spanish Empire like that. The indigenous people, yeah, there was war, but it was war between polytheism and monotheism. The conquistadors were Christian, they believed in one God, whereas indigenous people believed in many gods. The conquistadors wanted to uh they just wanted indigenous people to believe in one God. That's all. Like it wasn't about race like that.
Yeah, it happens in my country a lot with the history of our socialism.
Okay. So how has your dating experience been impacted by these societal views? And I don't know why I wrote that one twice, but have you navigated them in your personal life? Did I already ask you that?
I think so earlier.
So what advice would you give to someone who is struggling with pressure to conform to similar societal expectations? Like if they're struggling to actually believe a lot of these beliefs that's been pushed down their throat, what advice would you give to a young girl or a young man?
A young girl or a young man. I don't know. I think the struggles for men are different. I don't know if they would apply, but for girls is to find an identity and like avoid that identity to be your skin color. And once you find that identity, that for me, and this is very personal, is in Jesus. That's where my strength comes from. I know who I am because I'm a daughter of God, and I'm a daughter of God first, and I'm a human, and I'm not a skin color. And yes, you're probably going to struggle a little bit more, maybe to find like-minded people or people that maybe understand. But yeah, find an identity that is solid and that is not as unstable as your skin color.
Wow.
Without understanding our background, of course. Like, yeah, you have to. We live in the world, so you have to understand our realities and our experiences and how they are influenced by our environment. We have to understand that, but don't let that to be your identity.
Yeah, so Kenneth Johnson just became a new member. Thank you very much. Travel with EJ Wade says back from Costa Rica, Philippines, or Brazil next. I would never vouch for the Philippines, so I would say Brazil. Thank you for the super chat. So I'm going to save my question for last. I'm going to save my next question. Okay. So what ways have you actively resisted or challenged these stereotypes in your own life? It's the same questions back to back. You've already answered that one. So how do you think men, particularly Afro-Latin men, are affected by these ideologies in the context of dating? Like what does their life look like, since there are a lot of Afro-Latinas that may think how you were taught to think? What is his daily life like?
From what I've seen, Afro-Latinos, like men, they tend to be more open, to date Black women. I've always find that I say Black man and they, like, it's not uncommon for me to say Black man with a Black woman. Like, I don't know. Maybe I haven't been exposed to a lot of Black people either. So, yeah. Okay.
I guess we might have to interview a Afro-Latino to get the exact judgment on that. So looking forward, how optimistic are you about the possibility of shifting these cultural norms? In other words, what do you think the future is like in the next 10 years? And what do you think it will take? What is the next step that must be done and repeated in practice for this to change within the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years, I think conversation starters. I think with the rise of social media, a lot of people that are, I hate saying this, but are waking up in a sense to the reality and not conforming to the beliefs that they acquire from their environments are starting to speak out more. And to, in the next 10 years, those people that are having babies, trying to, teach those values to their children. So in maybe 20, 30 years, those mentalities start to shift, It's so I would say right now it's personal development, taking responsibilities for your own life, and start to deconstructing those old beliefs that were put there by society. Start creating new ones, and then form families. And
Yeah, yeah, yada yada yada. Basically, it's just Austin is basically just like going deep in detail on how to fucking destroy. How basically asking her how can what do you need to do in order to change Latino culture? Like this guy's a fucking colonizer. He himself is a colonizer in a way. He's over here talking about how, the Spanish are colonizers, but he himself is being a fucking colonizer.
spread out good values.
Okay, so let me ask you this:
Yeah.
where would you recommend Black American men that want to date Afro Latino women? Where would you recommend that they go? Like for me, it's Cali, Colombia.
Mhm.
It's Salvador or Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Uh, shit, that's really it.
You guys are just gonna be in the resorts. Like you're not gonna be with the locals. The locals don't like you.
You know, that's where else would you recommend in South America?
But what is it that you want? You want to date a black person, or do you want to find a wife? What is it that you guys want?
Well, both. I mean, because even
No, no, he's lying. He's fucking lying, bro. He has an agenda, bro. This is he fucking hates himself. He's not gonna go down there to get a wife. He just wants interracial sex. He wants to be with light skinned women with real hair. He wants to be with prostitutes. Look at his resume. Look at his YouTube channel. Look at all his content. Nothing but talking about prostitutes. He showed all the women that he shows are prostitutes. Like he recently just uploaded a video of him in Brazil in a nightclub with Redbeard, who looks fucking ugly as fuck as well, just like him. With prostitutes at a nightclub. And he's not and he's over here pushing the one drop rule, going against what the Latinos are for. He's going against everything like what Latinos are for. Like, and if you want a wife, if you want to get a fucking wife, you have to do as Romans do. You have to assimilate to the culture, and you're not doing that. You're over here making this degenerate content. And also, you never had a father. You don't know what traditional even is. You have mommy issues. You over here hitting on women. You guys are actual real misogynists. You just want to, you know, you just want women to just cook and clean and be quiet while you call them bitches and shit. Like,
if you just wanted to hook up with them, like
That's anywhere.
that's I don't see. But with that, when I was in Montevideo and Buenos Aires, I met black women. It's almost like they couldn't hear me talking to them. But when I went to Cali and Salvador, where there was plenty of black women, they had no, they were just like normal people. Like they could hear me talking to them, and they were interested. But in other places, it was like they wanted to kind of show out a little bit. So I guess for either way, if they want to, let me say this: where can they interact the best with Afro Latinos?
oh god, dude, that's fucking disgusting, bro. Go to Jamaica. Fuck your women, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Just fuck your women, bro. I'm sorry, like. Just stay in America and fuck your women, bro. Like, this is fucking disturbing, bro. Where can I find Afro Latina? They light skin real hair.
Find it hard because those are two different things. If you want a wife, and I don't know if your audience wants that's what they want, but if you want,
No, they don't want a wife. They don't. They're not. They don't know the language. And I already said it. Like, they don't know what traditional even is. And all they do is just want to use Hispanic women. And all they do. This is what they want to do. They want to go to a resort. They want to fuck prostitutes that look nothing like them with light skin, real hair, and take selfies with them to show it off to their own American women, to their own Black American women. That's all they want to do. They don't want to get a wife. These guys know deep inside they're not gonna go to live in land America. Like that place is ran by criminals, bro. You don't have no family down there. You're not gonna run shit. I hear Andrew talking about how he wants to buy land. Like, you're not gonna own that land, bro. If cartels want to do encroachment, they will do encroachment. What the fuck are you gonna do about it, bro? You're a fucking foreigner, no family down there. Just stay in your resort, fuck your prostitute, and call it a day. Stop making content shitting on your own American women. Like, I be hearing white American guys are shitting on black American women now. Black American women now I see white guys shitting on black American women, and nobody is there to defend them. Like, there are like literally nobody's there to defend them. They have no allies.
When a wife, you can find it anywhere, anywhere.
Um,
You're not gonna be like, there are. What I'm trying to say with this is there are good people and bad people in every country, and I guess there are cultures that are better than other ones, but mainly in the Americas as a continent, you can find a wife anywhere. You just have to be a decent human being, a decent man. If you want to hook up, that's a different story. As a black man, I understand that there are struggles, and those struggles are mainly defined by how black people are seen in America. So go to countries where there are plenty of black communities where they're more welcoming in general. So yes, I would say definitely Colombia. I would say even in Central America, El Salvador, or even Venezuela. You can go to Venezuela. You can go to Brazil.
oh no. Venezuela, you can go to Venezuela. Oh no, dude, you already know. Like, everybody's like, oh hell no. Did she really just say Venezuela? That's just a communist country, bro. Your ass going, bro. If you go to Venezuela, imagine go to Venezuela and being like Ace Live, pulling up your camera and interview and recording Venezuelan men down there, and trying to push the one drop rule. You black dudes like me, yeah, dude, you're gonna get robbed. Your camera's gonna get robbed. You're gonna lose your life, get unalived or deleted. Like, there's no freedom of speech. Venezuela is a communist country. Like, open your mouths and say shit they don't like, they're gonna put you on check ASAP.
Brazil. Yeah. Or
Okay.
even here in Lima, I've seen a few black men with like mestizas here. So
No, we're talking about just black men that want black women, not the
what black? Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, I'm this is fucking retarded, bro. I'm sorry. Like, everybody knows damn well these guys they love brown girls. They love them brown girls in America also. They love anything that's not dark skin with C4 hair. That's literally it. These guys hate themselves. They're the ones trying to, mejorar la raza. Motherfuckers be tripping out here, bro. You dig? God fucking damn.
Peru was the only one that wouldn't be in that list. So yeah, Brazil, Colombia, El Salvador, Venezuela. Yeah.
Okay, I would say I got the best result in Cali, Colombia, and Salvador by here, Brazil. So would you say, you brought up Venezuela, HD Chile, thank you for the files, Cash App. Would you say that Venezuela was, is it safe for somebody to go looking for that there right now?
Safe. I think you can do tourism there. Yeah, but I wouldn't live there just because of the social economic environment.
Okay, she's over here inviting foreigners. Alright, I'm about to end this video. I'm going to the next one.
Oh yeah, we're live. Happy to be here with my guy, Austin Holloman. I pronounced it right.
Yes,
Holloman,
sir.
not Holloman.
Glad to be
Holloman.
here.
Cool. So normally, to be a polite and gentile host, I would let the other person, the guest on my channel, do more of the talking. But I guess today's going to be a little bit backwards, where I'm going to be interviewed for my own channel. And the topic today is Medellin. The title is The Ultimate Medellin Travel Guide. He has a bunch of questions for me. Let's open them up. We'll go through them, but it's like safety, where to stay, cultural differences, how black men are treated, the overall advantage and gringo wow factor of being in Medellin, cost of living, date ideas, fun activities. So we'll just kind of start them off. Actually, since I'm doing most of the talking, we'll let Austin answer the one question.
Bro, I'm sorry, bro. What the fuck is this? What the fuck am I looking at, bro? What the fuck is that background? Why is it so fucking blurry? And why the fuck do I see two ugly ass motherfuckers in my face? Why do I see Redbeard looking like a fucking gold zombie, and then you have Austin Holman looking like he's fasting? You have Austin Holman looking like he's fasting, bro. Like he didn't eat. He looks like he didn't eat food in a month. He's over here fasting himself. Looking dehydrated, like he's so he has no energy. he has no fucking energy, and it's in the show in his fucking video. Like he's just laid back, like looking high as fuck. Like he's high as fuck from being dehydrated.
In that I can't answer, that I would be incapable of answering about Medellin, which is how are
Oh god, Medellin, of course. This guy loves talking about Medellin. I don't know what the fuck, dude. This guy is addicted. I don't see it, bro. I'm sorry, like I don't see it. I don't see it. Like, why is this guy so ingrained? Why is this guy so addicted to talking about Medellin in particular? Like, there's a lot of other cities. There's a lot of you can go to Cancun. Go to Cancun. Even Brazil. Like, even though he's in Brazil, he still wants to talk about Medellin.
Black men treated overall in Medellin? Black Americans, Black gringos.
So today's the day. I've got my RTA mock system and Coyote appliances. And they did tell me it was only going to take a few minutes. And I got to say,
I wouldn't say that I felt discriminated, but I didn't feel as favored as I did in places like Cali and Cartagena. In those places, it felt more like women were seeking after me versus Medellin, in my experience. Some dudes may feel otherwise. Most of those dudes are doing paper play that feel otherwise. But
That's it. That's really what you're doing. Pay for play. Because you guys know you guys look fucking ugly. That's all you got. That's the gist of what you guys are doing down there. Just pay for play, paying for the box. And I already told Austin this in my debate. Like, yo, you paying for the box. You paying for the box.
It's more so that they are kind of tolerating. Of course, you always have. I'm speaking generally. Now, of course, that's not 100%.
And you know, yeah, like you guys look fucking ugly
Of the time, but you have more of a tolerating feeling. You may have here and there somebody that's actually genuinely interested. Because I did have some chicks that were actually genuinely interested in Medellin too that I dated, but from what I was approaching, I don't think that was the most common scenario.
Would you say what's more polarizing over there? Like either put it this way, like maybe perhaps me as a white, I can say that as far as like having light skin, whether you're Paisa is the name of the people from Medellin. If you're from Medellin, you're called a Paisa. Light skin is
Paisa it's a term over here in Los Angeles as well. It comes from the Spanish word país, which means country. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the reason why they call them, because maybe the reason why people from Medellin are called Paisa is because Medellin is a countryside. It's literally the countryside. Vaquero cowboy culture is famous in Medellin as well.
Isn't an issue. Do you feel like perhaps it was kind of like either she fucks with you right away or she lets you know right away?
Not in Medellin, but like in the Antioquia area. Yeah, there you go. Medellin's a city where it's like mostly influenced by reggaeton and narco culture.
Like, no, sir, I'm not into that.
I think it's like that.
Okay.
I found it to be like that in Rio too. So
okay, in Rio too. But overall, like if you had to give it a number rating versus like 1, it's like completely terrible as a black guy there. 10, you felt more welcome than ever. What would you, if you had to put a number rating on it?
7.
7. Okay. So we'll always say it's pretty good for black dudes over there. You get treated pretty well. Okay. Yeah. As far as, and it's very much like the whole Black Americans get treated very differently than Black Colombians, right? Because they got a whole different flavor, a whole different swag.
Is he watching Kim? Is Casey Redbeard like? Is he watching Kim? Like, why is he comparing Black Colombian guys to Black American guys? Like,
more money, and it's just more exciting to go out with a foreigner. Okay, cool. Well, I guess we'll just go into.
But he says that because they prefer Black American guys.
More money, and it's just more exciting to go out with a foreigner.
More exciting, yeah. You're with prostitutes. Locals do not give a fuck about foreigners like that, bro. You're with prostitutes, rejects. You're not getting the top high-end women down there.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess we'll just go into my questions now. I guess the first one, what do you want to ask?
Safety.
Yeah.
So you know, a lot of people say that you can get drugged, robbed, even kidnapped. How true did you find those things to be in Medellin?
Yeah, so Medellin's one of these things where it's kind of like, I don't know, like a casino, like a, I don't know, like a lottery. Like most of the time, stuff can just be very calm, and then out of nowhere, shit just goes down when you least expect it. The only time something ever bad happened to me was pickpocketing twice. I got pickpocketed once at the Metro and pickpocketed on Calle Diaz.
Bro, because look at what you're bringing to the Metro, bro. You're bringing your ugly ass fucking face. They see a bitch. They see a coward. And what is up with your fucking forehead, bro? Why is that shit looking red? Why is that shit? Oh, God. Bro, look at his fucking forehead. That shit looks like he has a rash or something right below his scalp. He has a rash right below his fucking scalp. On his scalp.
One time, which is one of those main streets in El Poblado. But
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash for your house, no matter what condition it.
I hear stories about, and this is like becoming more and more of a thing where there's like a popular hotel there called, what's the hotel called? Click Clack Hotel. A bunch of guys rolled up and they robbed the whole restaurant. Like there were 50 patrons eating dinner. Did you hear about this?
Really? No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, guys rolled up on motorcycles with guns, and they literally just like a Jesse James, like a train robbery, like a public 50 people. Usually when someone's robbed, it's like 2 people in an alleyway or something. But beyond that, the main safety issues which people are going to have to worry about is the scopolamine.
Let me ask you about that. So what class of restaurant was that? Would you say it was like a 5-star restaurant, just a regular?
Click Clack is like it's the top of the top. Yeah, it's
really.
Yeah, they're robbing foreigners. If there's a top class restaurant, they're robbing foreigners.
Tippy top. It's in El Poblado, and it's the tippy top of the.
Yeah, they know exactly. Yeah, they're targeting foreigners. If it's in Poblado, they're targeting foreigners. Like, I'm sorry. They robbed foreigners. Like, Colombian gang members just robbed foreigners.
That's the best bougie hotels. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's right there, and that's why they target it.
But the self-hate is real, Yeah, you can risk your life, get robbed, and get a gun pointed on your fucking forehead. But, at least I get to smash light-skinned women's real hair. Oh, yeah. I can smash some hookah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
My cameraman got jacked there when he was finishing like with a photo shoot, right? So he was doing a photo shoot. I think it was some reggaeton guy. I don't think it was like a famous reggaeton guy, but yeah, my old photographer, my assistant, shout out to Simon. And yeah, when he was leaving, basically dudes rolled up and robbed. They spotted him, right? Because he has this big camera, the lens, cameras are obviously very expensive.
Yeah, what a fucking idiot. Yeah, these guys are fucking retarded, bro. Like, just say in America, bro. Just say in America, bro. You guys are fucking. And later on, Casey says that, oh, we destroyed Medellin. Like, no, you didn't destroy it, bro. That place was always filled with foreigners.
They just spotted him at the.
It's a fucking resort. Like, there are always foreigners down there.
Hotel doing a photo shoot, and when he left, they got him. But again, most of you guys aren't going to be doing photo shoots with reggaeton people and jack for your cameras. The main thing you're going to have to worry about is the scopolamine. Did you ever know anyone who got scopolamine personally?
I believe so. I mean, in my Facebook group, there's been a lot of guys that have said it's happened to them. Let me ask you this. So do you think that Medellin is more of like with safety? We know that it's dangerous, and the things that you described, except for maybe that 50-person robbing thing, that kind of stuff happens in every city, like somebody getting robbed for a camera. But would you say it's so bad to the point where it's just a matter of time versus, maybe if you're just not moving right?
It's a matter of time before something small will happen. It could take 5 years, right, in terms of a matter of time. But you will be pickpocketed or attempt to be pickpocketed. You will have a girl on a dating app that was so very obviously going to try to.
Okay, so if it's this dangerous, why not just stay in America?
Scopolamine you. I don't mean to victim blame, but first of all, let's define it real quick because we may have a few naive people. Scopolamine is a weird drug that women put into your drinks. They target.
women put in their street. Okay, so how come we don't talk about where they get it? They get it from the men, and they take orders from the men. They get trained by the men. Colombian men train these women to drug foreigners. Like I'm sorry, like these guys know these guys are scared of Colombian men. They know they can't compete. They're too masculine, so they don't even mention them. Like, just the women. The women just drug. They're the ones that get the drug. Like, nah, the women. It's a patriarchy, bro. The women learn from the men. The men tell the gang members tell, you know, the women, yo, this is how you manage this drug, and this is how you use it to catch some prey.
Criminal gangs put women on dating apps and then they match with dudes, typically foreigners, and then they say, hey, let's drink, and I know this great place. Or maybe they'll try to come over straight to their place. Hey, they'll be like very, very forward. We'll talk about the signs of like how to spot these girls, But basically, they put the drug into your drink, and then you lose all free will, and you'll do whatever. They say, hey, you should, be a great idea. Just take off all your clothes and do the funky chicken dance in the street. You'll be like, you know what? That is a great idea, and you'll just do what anybody tells you to do. But
I've heard,
rather than make you dance like a funky chicken, they say, send me all your money.
From #1 Color Silk, color that actually improves scalp and hair. New Revlon Tone Gloss Care Hair Color. Revlon.
hey, you.
Is it true that Sunny D's new vodka seltzer has 0 sugar and tastes just?
And let's actually go into this more. So, like, I guess we define what it is, how to avoid it. Again, not to victim blame, but every time I've ever heard of a friend or a friend of a friend experiencing getting drugged and robbed on this thing, they always say this. They start the story the same way. I was an idiot. All the signs were there. I ignored. She kept talking about drinking. I took her to this hotel and she said she didn't have ID and she brought something up digitally, but it clearly looked fake. And then just being, way too into you, way too quickly. And, let's be honest too, if it's way more of a beautiful.
Bro, that's what you guys like. That's why you go down there to pay for the box on prostitutes that don't look attractive at all to a Colombian man.
Girl they're used to getting, and they're way too forward and they're talking about drinking. Paisa girls, they don't drink that much. And then another thing is if you meet them on the dating app, they'll want to go straight to WhatsApp. They'll say they don't have Instagram. Now, if they say they
Paisa girls, okay, like the local Paisa girls, like, yeah, they drink Mexican beer, they drink Corona, they drink tequila, they listen to corrido, no, not corrido, but I mean, yeah, some of them do in the countryside, but like ranchera, like those are real local Paisa women. Those women, yeah, they drink Mexican beer.
They have Instagram, and it's got photos from 4, 5, 6 years ago. She has a graduation photo that shows where she went to school. She's got photos.
They're not gonna drink that Bud Light trash shit.
Goes at her dental office with her coworkers, showing where she's working. 99 out of 100 times, that's gonna be just fine.
They're not gonna drink Miller Light, Bud Light, Miller Light. Like, nobody drinks that shit, bro. Whiskey is disgusting too.
And that's like a real girl with real interest. However, there's I forget the guy's name. He had a very Asian sounding name. Qingjong Shuang. I can't. It's like literally. I'm not being racist. It literally sounds like.
Yeah,
that.
the guy from Atlanta.
Was he from Atlanta?
Yeah.
Okay. He was like an activist or something, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know he was from Atlanta.
But I think he was from Atlanta. Well, we can say he was naturalized.
Okay.
But he was from Cambodia. I think.
It was Vietnam.
Vietnam, Cambodia, somewhere over there.
One of those two, definitely. I think it was Vietnam, whatever, it might have been Cambodia. But basically, these girls are playing the long game now. Like, I believe it was a very typical, like, simpy kind of sugar baby, sugar daddy relationship that, again, I hate to victim blame, but I would like to think that, other men would see this coming from a mile away. But she basically tricked this dude, and they were, quote unquote, dating for, like, many months. Do you know the details on that?
Mm-hmm. I think it was his 3rd trip to Medellin, and he had been, for many months they've been talking, and he flew down there to see her, and he was showing everybody back home that was his girlfriend. When looking at the pictures of her, I was kind of like, I would have never trusted her to begin. Like, she looked like
that evil face.
She looked like a skeezer to me, and he flew down there and went to her. She invited her to her neighborhood, which was a sketchy neighborhood. It was kind of obvious. Listening to the story, I'm like he trusted her too much, but he got a bottom of the barrel chick.
And yeah, so someone posted their name, Tu Zhejiang. I'm sure I'm not saying that right. Again, let's not victim blame the guy too much. I mean, in his defense, who the fuck would think that these very low IQ people in Medellin would have the capacity and the patience to wait 3 months to rob you? First of all, like, if I meet up with a chick in public, Sam, I go back to Medellin. I meet up with a chick in a public place. We have a good first date. We kiss a little bit, then we go our separate ways. And the next day, go out to dinner, back to my place, we smash. We're smashing and dating over a course of a few months. I mean, get it? Maybe I'm flying back and forth. And then 3 months later, she goes, "Oh yeah, come meet me, at my place, my neighborhood." I wouldn't necessarily be like, "Oh, like, red flag," blah, blah, blah. So I mean, I have empathy for the guy too. It's a little bit of both, but maybe he should have realized he was punching a little bit above his weight class with dating a girl that beautiful, and should have questioned the interest. But maybe he thought like, "Oh, I'm a foreigner here." And
you think she was beautiful?
I thought she can take a good photo in bad, but she had ass though, bro.
I don't think I saw her ass.
Yeah, that changed my perception. Yeah, and I've seen her look good and bad, but I mean, I thought she was pretty tight. But anyway, I mean, long story short, to wrap it up,
she got an ass, bro. You guys, Yeah, like yeah.
We got a lot more to cover here, unless there's anything else you want to know. Is the main thing you got to realize is when you're in congested areas, so really crowded. I would say more like daytime events, nightclubs maybe somewhat. I don't think people get pickpocketed nearly as much as nightclubs. But Calle Diaz at night, anywhere near Parque Geras, anywhere where it's really, really crowded, because the way that they do it is like they work in teams. So it's like maybe I'll bump into Austin on this, and I'll act like, oh, and I bump him on this, and he's like, yo, motherfucker, like, you know, what's up? And then someone else will kind of like bump into him on the other side, and he's kind of distracted by me, and then you're kind of just getting bumped into. Someone slides the phone out and then immediately passes it. So say I bump into Austin, even if he feels something, he grabs me like, yo, motherfucker, like I felt that he got me by the neck. I'm like, oh, you searched me, you know, head to toe, like full search, because I've already passed the phone to someone else. Anyway, they're
I guess it is increased danger, but it's still just common sense things to pay attention to.
Yeah, you know, it's common sense, but again, I don't like the idea of saying that, oh, just if I have common sense and wanted to go where no gringo has gone before and be like the only, you know, foreigner there. Yeah, I mean, the neighborhoods that I just mentioned, that wouldn't be safe. Aranjuez, Robledo, San Javier, anything near around Bello.
Bro, all of Colombia is dangerous. Dude, all of it is dangerous, bro. The locals don't like you, especially in the countryside. Just stay in your resort, fuck your prostitute, and call it a day. Stop making content shit on your own American women, pushing the one-drop rule.
Let's see. But yeah, I mean, the big ones for foreigners are Envigado, Laureles, and Poblado. But for most guys, they're probably going to want to be around Poblado. That's what you see. Like, anytime you see a video on Medellin on YouTube, you're seeing Poblado.
Correct.
So I'll just recommend staying there.
So what are some cultural differences? Well, let me ask you before we go to the next part. What type of housing would you recommend is the best bang for your buck in Medellin? Like, is it an apartment? Is it a studio apartment?
So they're actually cracking down on Airbnbs now. I think that the minimum Airbnb length that they do is 30 days now. I've heard of a lot. Have you heard about this? Heard a lot about cancellations. If you book for like 1 week or 10 days, that sometimes your host will actually cancel. So that's kind of unfortunate.
If you have a 700 plus credit score, you qualify for Chase's new program where you could access.
Hotels are cool. So
yeah, they don't like you. Like I've been saying it for the past 3 years. They don't like you, bro. You guys, the way you're dressed, again, you make those hand gestures that make you look weird.
So here's one thing about, I guess that we didn't cover that, you know, thanks for bringing this up, is, and I don't know how you would find out about this.
And,
well, I'll maybe think of some ways actually
you guys look so fucking unattractive
afterwards, but every building has these things called porteros in El Poblado and Laureles. Actually, Laureles, some buildings wouldn't have porteros, but they're basically security guards. So we don't really have them in America unless it's like a hotel, right? Like in America, a hotel will be a security at the reception of the hotel, but just to get into your apartment building, you don't typically see security guards, but almost every place in Poblado will have them, and those motherfuckers can make or break your trip. I've seen horror stories where they just don't let girls. You heard about this? It's like
even here, it seems like in Sao Paulo, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's like whether it's Brazil, Colombia, it's like we were talking about this. Like, motherfucker, I'm a single male traveler in Latin America. The fuck you mean I can't bring guests up? You know what I'm saying?
Why do you think that is?
Yeah, 'cause you're a foreigner. In Rome, you do as Romans do. If they don't want you to have guests, then you do what you do. You do as Romans do. Like, who the fuck are you? You don't know a lick of the fucking language. You guys sound retarded when you try to speak it. Like, you're in a foreign country, bro. That place is like, it's a patriarchy. If a Colombian man tells you something, you have to fucking do it. You have to obey him like a little bitch. You are. You have to obey Colombian men. That's the thing. When you go to Colombia and a Colombian man tells you something, you have to fucking do it. You're in his country. You have to be a little bitch like you are. You know, over here complaining about your own women being masculine. They're so masculine. The feminism. They're so fucking masculine. I can't. The Me Too movement. They're so masculine in the Me Too movement. I gotta leave. Get your passport. Get your passport. You're a little bitch, bro. So when you go to a foreign country, when you go to a country of a Latino man, you obey him like a little bitch you are.
You know, they just assume you're a dumb foreigner and you met some girl on Tinder that's gonna drug you, and then it's gonna cause, you know, a whole show with the police coming there, and then management's gonna get upset, and the neighbors find out and give the proper reputation as like, you know, sexual tourism going on there, you know, and maybe you sue or something like that, and then or they have to do an investigation, and the property's offline for a month while the police collect evidence. I mean, gringos. How many gringos have been killed in the last 3 months? Like at least 10 or something like that.
I think more than that, maybe. But
Yeah,
it's a prevention process is what it is what I'm getting.
Yeah, they just don't want to.
Okay, so I'm just thinking, like, if you're leaving your country because of feminism and the Me Too movement, and the fact that your women are too masculine, what does that make you? What does that make you? It makes you feminine. It makes you weak. Like the Colombian guys are not gonna respect that, and the digital nomad shit. That digital nomad shit, like people are not gonna fucking go by that digital nomad shit. Like they don't look up to that shit, bro. The local Colombian guys, they're not gonna look up to that shit. They're gonna see you as feminine and weak.
You don't want to deal with that. And I guess, so Airbnb, other than that, I guess just hotels. But maybe we'll go into oh, by the way, Austin's preparing something called the BPB, the Passport Bro Playbook. And this is going to be one module. I guess we're giving one module for free, where the idea is he's going to, well, I'll let you explain it, actually. It's your course.
So it is basically a super extended travel guide with more detailed information. So for example, in the travel guides, I do touch on where you should stay, safety and cultural differences. I kind of just give you a few hints. But with these playbook modules, what it'll be like is, for example, with safety, how we just went in for 15 minutes about safety. Instead of me putting 4 or 5 lines in the travel guide, you'll be able to get 15 to 30 minutes of me describing and breaking down stories and examples of what it was like in that particular city. In the travel guides, I do not have how.
Yeah, what a scam. He's pulling off a scam, a triangle scheme.
Black men are treated. I didn't think it until he told me that. Because I was just thinking, oh, people, they know that I wrote this travel guide, so they're just thinking this is what it is. But I'll go into, like, for example, you guys know what happened in Buenos Aires a couple times. There's a little different experience there for me. So was Romania and Poland. And I could specify and do, because I've talked about some of these things on YouTube, but you would have to go dig through live streams. You wouldn't know exactly what live streams, especially when we doing IRLs, because they're not titled about that. The cost of living, I barely touch on that in my travel guides, but I would have examples, links, stuff to show you guys. It's an encyclopedia, a Bible. We should call it the Passport Bro Bible.
You guys like Passport Bro Bible or Passport Bro Playbook? Let us know. But yeah, I mean, basically the premise is right. You log in and there'll be at least 15 cities to start with, and then you'll add maybe by the end of the year there'll be.
Bro, just stay in your country, bro. Just fuck your women. These guys are scamming you. You're scammers. These guys are scammers, bro.
40, 50 cities, Africa, Latin America, Europe, Asia, and like you said, you have one resource to know, okay, how are black guys treated? What's the overall gringo wow factor? What are the common scams? What is the cost of living? What is the English rate? What are the fun activities?
Date ideas.
If I want to stay there, how does the visa situation work?
So speaking of that, just so we can double back with our example module, what are some date ideas you have in mind?
Yeah, the best dating idea is just pull out $300 from your wallet and show it to a prostitute at the resort. That's really it. That's the best dating advice. Fuck your prostitute. Drink some beer. Go to the bar. Drink some beer. Drink some good Mexican beer, and then call it a day. Go back. Like, you stop pushing wardrobe rules. Stop taking selfies and shitting on your own. Stop taking selfies with prostitutes and shitting on your own American women. Showing those pictures to your own American women and shitting on them, saying that they're fat, ugly, masculine, which is not true. Not all American women are fat, ugly, and masculine. And call it a day, bro.
Yeah, date ideas for Medellin. So I want to say one thing as kind of like a preamble. You guys don't have to spend money on these hosts. It all depends on your financial situation. What I found is that what I'm trying to do and what I do 90% of the time, which is only going out with girls that are at least a 7.5 to an 8 or better. If you're not proposing at least somewhat of either fun and creative or extravagant date, then they won't come. So for example, in Sao Paulo, if there was a free samba event, samba is like a type of dance. I guess you could roughly call it Brazilian salsa, although it's not quite that, but it's like a Brazilian dance. And you said to a girl that likes samba, there's gonna be this big outdoor samba event, live music. Let's grab some food and have like a picnic there and then go to the samba event. That could be free, but that's very creative and stuff like that. But in general, unless you have like the most creative samba picnic date, if you don't have that, then what I found is if you're not doing a fairly nice restaurant, then you get flaked. So don't feel like you have to do this thing. But now just to answer the question, the best restaurants I guess for date ideas or for your boys would be Ritual and Colasal are two of them. So Ritual, R-I-T-W-A-L. It's kind of like ritual. Ritual, R-I-T-W-A-L, and then Colasal, which is colossal.
Yeah, Colombian men don't need to take women to Colombian men go to the nightclub. They say you want to dance, and that's it, and they get it. They get the box. They just like that easy. They don't even have to pay for it.
Big colossal. Both of these restaurants.
But y'all gringo males are fucking ugly. You know you look ugly, and that's why you guys are paying for the box.
Restaurants are what are called mirador restaurants, which I guess would translate to like lookout. So they're high up, they have a beautiful lookout, they're super romantic.
I donated my eggs, and here's what happened. Did you know that you can help those struggling with infertility and receive up to $48,000?
I think I've seen that in Cartagena too. I think.
Yeah, okay.
They have a restaurant like that in Cartagena.
Yeah, I think Tony Roma's has a 360 there. That's also a Mirador restaurant. You can also just type in and find a cheaper one. You can just type in into Google like Restaurante Mirador, and who doesn't love being high up, restaurant lounge and
Um, you could stack your money. You could eat all day. There was plenty weights. Lifting weights and stuff. It was kind of like, it was kind of like a club med prison to a certain extent. Because you could eat all you want, you could lift all you want, you could do whatever not necessarily do whatever you want, but it was pretty much free. And I was private, exclusive private Instagram where I'm gonna be showing all exclusive content. I'm gonna be showing you everything, you know, and also on that channel we're looking for 10. I'm looking for 10 investors, because all we're gonna take, I'll say about 70% of them been average at best in bed, if that.
Right.
Versus the women in America. The women in America are way by far, and of course they're attractive too. But so you got to ask yourself, this is that all these guys that are traveling just for sex, you got to really think about this. All these guys that are traveling for sex, they going to Colombia, DR, and all these places. Even in DR, when I went to DR, and somewhere down the road, you're gonna pay for sex. You're gonna pay for some kind of thing. You're gonna pay with your gas going to her house. You're gonna pay for her gas coming over or Ubering her over. You're gonna
a lot of negative stuff. I'm started again, and I feel that
I don't beat women. Matter of fact, most of the women that I over the 4 years that I've hung out with, I've helped people. I bought people's furniture. I paid for surgery, private, exclusive private Instagram where I'm gonna be showing all.
revisit that South Africa.
But at the same time, I must say with a caveat, they worse than Black American women, in my opinion. They worse than Black American women. And also, let me give you a caveat on this. They might be the baddest girls, but at the end of the day, it all comes back to America. I've never been to England, but I'm pretty sure England is probably it's a Western society, but the African women are not that good in bed.
I'll tell you a story about.
Yeah, go ahead. So so I can cook. So I can cook. But anyway, so like I said once before, I didn't share your screen onto the screen.
Channel on Rum.
Because I was traveling, and if you're traveling and you don't, you're not working, you.
So basically, so far, Pistol Man has been saying everything I agree with, except for one thing. He said that he was the first one. He was about to say he was the first one to speak out against Passport Bros. I'm like, nope, I don't think so, bro. Cam was the first one, and many others came before you did. Like, you are not the first one. You're the first one to interrogate Passport Bros. Oh, you can say that. You're the first one to interrogate them, but you're not the first critic. You are not the first critic.
Okay, guys. Well, Andrew, could you bring everybody? A man having multiple wives, or polyandry, a woman having multiple husbands. But
oh shit! He done come up on the piano.
Guys, right? I have something to tell you guys. Zed is my girlfriend now. I'm burning my passport, and I'm not going to be a passport bro anymore. I'm leaving the Matrix. I'm staying in the Matrix. And Zed,
countries in the last.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday.
Okay, hold on. Let me get everybody off of here real quick.
Well, I actually want to say something about the title of the video. That girl you're mentioning over there, she's actually from Peru.
Okay.
She's from Peru. She's not like a white American chick. So it's not white women that travel.
Yeah, that chick is not like these guys over here. Andrew over here trying to portray that one chick, that white chick, as a mammy, as a Becky. They're trying to pull this false narrative.
It's just her going to be, a typical Peruvian girl going to Dominican Republic.
Okay, fair enough. It's nice to see you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that this is actually happening. I'm not surprised by this. I mean, are you surprised?
So I'm gonna go. I'm going to scrutinize Kim's how did Kim do on his debate and discussion with all these other pastor bros that he had on the panel. I'm scrutinizing and see how he did.
Surprised by this?
And referring to what?
When you guys put out all this information on social media, someone's gonna catch on to this.
Because I feel like Kim, Kim is not really a debater, when I debated Austin Holman, I made sure I got the fuck out before all these other motherfuckers pulled up on the panel, because I already knew they were just gonna speak over you, they're gonna shit on you. So I mean, he did a good job. He did all right. I don't think Kim is a debater. He's more of like a commentator. He's not really a debater. Or you need to have a lot of good memory and know all your arguments and know when to pull out your cards right. And I don't think Kim can really do that efficiently. And it shows in his stream. I feel like he's more of a commentator. He's more of a commentator.
You know it, right? And I think even you could agree that the passport bros and all these guys, there's way too many guys who are what you might call, I would call them deadbeats. At this point, there's a little bit too much of that, and in that movement, and also all the other stuff going on. But I told you, it's Andrew, almost since how long would it be thing? 2016, 17?
Yeah, we had our differences, fair enough. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've been telling you this is gonna happen. I told you to keep Willie on my panel too. I told you guys this is gonna happen. I told you what's gonna happen down the road. And I just want to tell you that it's gonna get worse. It's going to get worse.
What do you think it's gonna get?
Yeah, it's gonna get worse. The protesting, these people, the feminists down there, they already did it once. What's stopping them from doing it again and again and again and again? What's stopping them? They already know how to do it. They already did it once. They know the experience. They have the experience now. What's stopping them from doing it again and again and again, and pushing, writing petitions to restrict more foreigners to going down there? It's gonna get worse.
Like Western culture?
Yeah.
Are you talking about like Western culture? Like
no.
What
I'm saying, I told you before, I said before again, in Latin America, they don't like Americans. Okay. They do not like Americans. As guys or girls, they don't like Americans. I repeatedly told everyone wanted to think of, they don't like Americans. They might be nice, they might be pleasant, whatever. At the end of the day, you heard it too many times on other parts of the different platforms. Even the women said, we guys want to let you know, we enjoy your money, but at the end of the day, we prefer our own culture. And that includes the tourists, that includes the expats, the foreigners coming in. That's what they're trying to say.
So you think, okay, so what in particular country do you think that they don't want foreigners in their country?
All around Latin America. It's happening in Mexico already. It's happening in Dominican Republic. It's happening in Panama. It's happening in Costa Rica. It's happening in Colombia, Argentina, Brazil. They're all talking about on their platform in Spanish, even on TikTok and on YouTube. They are talking about in Spanish right now about this. You just think you're not aware about this because you don't know what's going on. But if you look in Mexico, for example, if you go in Mexico right now, go type in Mexico and tourism, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Because they're complaining about the fact that a lot of Americans, for example, are coming to Mexico, and now they're banning mariachi music. They got a load of spice condiments inside. They got to do all this stuff because of what's going on. And basically, you have signs that gringos go home. Same thing in Colombia. It's not just the sex tourism. That's one aspect of it. It's the whole thing. Because a Colombian eventually wants to go to a Colombian restaurant full of Colombians. They don't want to go to a Colombian restaurant full of foreigners. I mean, this is just the reality of it.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What do you think? Do you think it's because of Americans on why people in Latin America are starting to change their behaviors?
Well, to really be honest with you, Americans always had this bad behavior. Be honest with you.
No, but I'm talking about Latin America. Do you think Latin Americas or countries in the Latin regions, do you think that they've always had this bad behavior? Or was it something that they adapted from American culture?
There's always bad people in these countries. We can't blame anything on the Americans. I think the problem with the Americans, what they've done is that what's gone to them is social media. And especially with recording and all this other stuff, and them going down.
Yeah, you guys are going down there recording. Yeah, that's another thing. You guys are recording the women. You guys are walking the streets and treating treating the streets of Latin America like it's a zoo. You're over here like secretly putting secret cameras and recording red light districts. Like that's fucking weird. Like, and also like another thing. That's another thing that I remember. Y'all guys are also like starting OnlyFans and secretly recording your business with prostitutes without their consent, without the consent of the prostitute. So you guys have your own. Oh yeah, you guys have your OnlyFans page. Uh, like yeah, like you guys are exploiting prostitutes. Like you guys are not telling them that I'm gonna record from my OnlyFans account. You guys are not doing that. You guys are unconsensually recording prostitutes while you're in action, and you're uploading it on your OnlyFans, where other American males can consume.
There, seeing like a zoo. It's not even just even down there. It's in the United States too. You know Roosevelt Avenue in Queens. I bump into people with cameras in Roosevelt Avenue, and even I told them, "Yo, you need to stop recording people and families because just because there's issues going on with immigration doesn't mean you have to start recording people and recording prostitutes. It's happening in New York City."
I agree. I can't disagree with you on that. I don't disagree with you on that.
It's happening in New York City, in the United States. They do the same thing also in parts of Miami, the same thing. And it's like, bro, like, and I bumped to one YouTuber because I was in New York City this past week ago. And I bumped into a YouTuber and I got into a discussion. He's a white American guy. And I told him, bro, there's prostitutes in Brooklyn, there's prostitutes in Manhattan. Why are you focused on the ones in Roosevelt Avenue? Like, what's going on here? No, it's because you guys have a thing for these people. And I will see you have the outcry crying.
So let me ask you something, Kim. Do you think it's the whole of the passport bro movement that's on this?
Not just them. It's not just them. It's a combination of all the 3 or 5 things. It's the traveling, and by the way, it's not even Americans. I've talked to guys at other parts of Asia, Arab, the other guys from Europe, because they have different content in their own languages. I get in contact with them, and we had this big argument because one was a Turkish guy. He got mugged and robbed in Colombia, and I told him, "Bro, what do you think you're doing? You're coming with a camera, recording people.
That's
like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, I want to show people in Turkey. I'm like, show them what? There's prostitutes in freaking Turkey. Why are you all focused on?"
Andrew, you're doing the same shit back in 2015, recording prostitutes. Oh, that's fucking stupid. Bro, you do the same shit. You're guilty as charged for that shit as well.
On these women and all that stuff, and well, I want to show how to date women. That's why I told him, do you see Colombian men going to Turkey and asking, do you how to date Turkish girls? They don't even do that stuff. It's always these other guys coming in. I said, listen, I guess for content, 100% understand that, but you're seeing a reaction. And that's why I keep telling people. And by the way, anyone, if I don't think anyone knows this, but already 2 YouTubers got beaten up in Roosevelt Avenue for recording people. So any of you guys that are dealing with cameras and zooming in and all that other stuff, I want people to understand that you guys really can't be doing that. Regardless if you agree with me or not, you guys cannot be doing that kind of stuff. Because let's be for real. Imagine I did that to you guys. Let's start recording people with, let's say, Black Americans, for example. There's dysfunctional behavior, and I put it online. I mean, come on. Like, that's ridiculous. As much as I disagree with that community, I will never do that, especially when it comes to kids. And that's another thing I don't like is the fact that they're putting kids in all of this. And that's what you're finding out right now. It's not the fact they're pissed off that there's sex tourism in Colombia. We know sex tourism. The problem is that they're actually finding out that there's guys from our countries actually getting involved with underage children with 9, 10, 11, 13-year-old, 14-year-old boys and girls. Not just girls, also boys too. And that's what's happening right now in Mexico, Dominican Republic. And this has been going on for almost several years, which I keep telling you is what's going to happen. I keep telling you, hey, watch out for these creeps. You see what's the guy, Miko Worldwide. It's another guy, he's a fling homosexual, Rainbow Warrior, all these other guys involved. And I've said before many times that the guys are coming in, they're complete weirdos. And I told them
Kim, I can't disagree with you on that. And you know, me and you, we don't get along with each other. We all have our differences, but I totally agree with you on that. Totally agree with you, because I even seen it from the days I've been traveling on how messed up it's becoming and how worse it's becoming. But fair enough. But that doesn't go for all travelers. You know, that doesn't go for a sector of travelers that's in the community, because there are some people that may underline into different groups. Like, for instance, passport bros, right? It'll be a group. But then there's individuals of different people that do different things. But that doesn't mean everybody does the same.
I understand that, but let's be for real. Let's be for real. You guys are not bringing your girlfriend.
Yes, those are all travelers. I'm sorry, Andrew. Those are all of you. I'm sorry, like, we're talking about, see, this is the thing. This is not about, I'm not talking about all travelers. This is not about all travelers. This is about passport bros in particular. I'm talking about passport bros. Yeah, statistically, yeah, whatever. I'm talking about passport bros. I'm talking about Black American males and white American males making content, shitting on American women and pushing the one drop rule. That's my personal problem. My like, Like that's my personal problem. Going down there, arrogant as fuck, trying to change the culture, and shit on your own American women, which makes you feminine, and also makes you feminine as fuck. Um, Now I'm not saying you can't go down there and resort and fuck a prostitute. No, I'm not saying that, Mom. Yeah, like I don't really give shit. Like if you just solely do that, if you make content on YouTube solely just, I mean, if you don't make content on YouTube and you just solely just go there just to fuck a prostitute, like I don't have no problem with that. Like nobody has a problem with that. Like shut your fucking mouth, obey Colombian men, and fuck your prostitute. Like nobody's against that. What we're against is that you guys are going on the internet taking selfies with American women that look nothing like you. I mean, you're taking selfies with Hispanic Latino women who look Latino prostitutes who look nothing like you, and then you're using them, comparing them to local American women, and saying that they're way better. They're way better, and they're better than all American women. Like they're better than dark-skinned Black American women. All of them. You heard? You dig? All of them. Like that's my problem. I'm not talking about all travelers. My channel is not about all travelers going to Latin America. Like, nah.
Friends and wives to these countries. Most of you guys are singles. And by the way,
well, you can't say that for everybody, Cam, because there are some successful marriages where people did move. Look at Loving Across Borders.
Yeah.
He lives over there in Colombia. He has his wife over there.
Yeah.
He's embedded himself into the culture. So I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's not. It doesn't go for everybody.
I understand that about the culture thing, but look, at the end of the day, the bottom line is this: as much as they can embed the culture, learn the language, etc., the reality of it is, eventually, the problem is he's not Colombian, and he'll never be accepted by those people. It's not his community. That's just the facts of life.
Yup, he's not. You guys are not Colombian. You guys keep pushing the one drop rule, talking about race all the fucking time, like a weirdo. You guys look fucking ugly. You have bad genetics. Latinos have good genetics. They're healthy. They have healthy families. They're building. They're going to work. Like, I'm sorry, like, we just can't relate. You guys are fucking lazy. Talking about digital nomad shit. Who the fuck does that shit, bro?
Okay.
That's just, I'm sorry, like, you can learn the language, understand the culture, but at the end of the day, the problem is you're not these people. And I understand why people have this issue about that. You're not these people. I mean, you could claim race, you can claim, well, there's blacks down in Colombia. Okay, I talked to one yesterday.
Huh? Are you black? Are you black?
No, I'm not black.
And this is where Zed. Now I'm admit I was on Zed's channel. I was trying to create allies. I was on Zed. I was trying my best to create allies. To critique Passport Bros. And I didn't realize this, but Zed is so fucking strict, bro. Like, and then I was trolling her anyways. I don't really care, but like she was so fucking strict, bro. Like she straight up just banned me. I was on her panel, like just chilling, and while I was speaking, she just banned me because because I said black people live in the jungle, taking me out of context. She took me out of context when I said black people live in the jungle. Clearly took me out of context and banned me. I'm not crying, I'm not complaining, I'm just informing y'all, like, yo, this is what happened. This is what I think about Zed. Like, yeah, fuck her. Yeah, fuck her.
That's the problem, because we don't know if you are talking from, a truly concerned for the Passport Bros, or
I'm not talking.
I criticize the Passport Bros, and I have had so
She's a mammy, and Kim is right. Like, she's a mammy. Zed is a mammy.
many non-black men to come to my channel, but their criticism is not because they don't like sex tourists or something. It's because they don't want black men having sex with non-black women, and we have to be. Do you believe racism exists in Latin America?
Excuse me, can I ask you a question? There's black men already in Latin American countries, right?
But there is a lot of
hold on. There are black guys in Colombia, right? There are black Colombian men.
Yes.
Notice you don't see those men bashing their women like the way the Americans are doing it.
Hold on.
That's very true. That's very true. You know that. You know that. Where are the black Brazilian guys talking here? Where are the black
Brazilians are very
exactly. They're not here. They're not bashing their women like this.
What do you mean?
No, they're not bashing the women. They're not. It's the other groups that are not. They're from different countries that are doing that. They'll go around criticize their own women.
That we can do. See, that we can criticize them. Don't worry about that. I am a black woman.
No, you're not seeing that Brazil. You're not seeing that Colombia. You're not seeing that.
Don't worry about that.
But you're not seeing that either.
Here's the problem I have. I want to make sure. Let me ask you this: do you think Latin America is racist?
Is racist?
Yes.
Up a little flip a coin. Okay. It says yes. Okay.
Is black yeah, they're racist. They self-hate. That's the whole reason they're going to Latin America.
Yes.
Yes, so Latin America is racist. And we want to know, because I do criticize passport bros. My freaking account is criticizing them day in, day out. But what I've noticed is that, and I
No, you're not criticizing Passport Bro. You're just a mammy. Like, you're contradicting yourself. You don't criticize them. You literally have fucking Negrito Grande on your panel 24/7. Like, I'm sorry, like again, Zed is new to the internet. She's an old head. You know, she's a boomer. She doesn't know how to, like, organize. Like, before, I'm not gonna lie, like, before she was criticizing them, but not anymore. Zed is not criticizing them. She just became allies with him. Everybody on her panel are pastor bros, and she allows them to be on her panel. Like, if you're criticizing these guys, you will not have them 24/7. No, I'm not saying you're not allowed to have them, to not make that contradiction, but you can't have them. You're making that, you're being dishonest by having them 24/7 on your panel. You're being dishonest. You are not a critic of pastor bros. You are being dishonest.
literally have a video telling white people not to what.
Because you always have them on your panel 24/7, and you have, yeah, that's literally my point I'm trying to make.
My video, because you guys do not criticize them for being because your criticism had a lot of racist tint to it.
Yeah.
So because the Medellin mayor was handing out flyers about sexual tourism, and at the airport was full of white people, white tourists. But he
Okay, so if you watch the video, there are feminist protests talking about gringos. Like, how are they racist? They also had protesters saying that they don't want gringos, which means white American males too. So how are they racist? They just don't want foreigners in their country. And they're all, yeah.
took a picture with the black with the thing, like when you BMT had made a video on it, and when you look there,
Manny, hold on a second here. Manny,
Hey, Kim, I just want to intervene real quick. I'm gonna let you go, Kim. I'm gonna let you continue. QB has a question. He says, Kim, when are you leaving your parents' basement with a $2 donation?
Next week.
Okay.
Right.
Go ahead, Kim.
No, look, Mammy, hear me out. Listen, Manny, hold on.
Mammy.
Yo, man, watch your mouth.
Manny, hold on.
Are you not allowed to call me
hold on, Zed.
Oh God, now you got Tyrone. Tyrone's gonna come out. Bro, I'm sorry, bro. As soon as this guy opened his mouth, I would just dip. I'm sorry. I would have just dipped. Like, I'm not gonna deal with this shit, bro. Cause this guy later on, like, yeah, he just interrupts 24/7, and yeah.
Hold on, Zed.
You can call her by her name. Whatever's on that screen, you can call her by her name. Watch your mouth.
I am a passport bro critic, but I want to make sure that we do not open when we criticize passport bro.
Stand by 1 second.
Yeah, this dude's racist.
Hey, bro, what did you say? You call her Mammy. Why are you saying that?
Because you say it.
Because I say it.
Why do you say
that they criticize, they do call you guys mammies.
Well, I'm calling Zed a mammy because she's catering to black guys no matter what. Like, that's really it. Just black males, all black males, no matter what. Even though black males, she's catering to black American males who go down into Latin America.
Who does?
Your people.
Our people. And what age? What year?
Because she has them on her panel 24/7.
What your people, sir?
So that's why I'm calling her a mammy. She's not being honest.
No, absolutely not. You see her name on the screen? We've given you the respect and called you Kim. 1, 2, 3. You can call her Zed. And that's the way it's gonna be.
Well, she is being a mammy. That's what
she's
saying.
Call her by her name.
How am I know what the mommy means, but how am I being a mommy?
It wasn't mommy. Mommy, it was more a racist term. It was a racist
I know that.
Yeah.
So
He knows exactly what that means. You dumb. He knows exactly what that means. Her name is Zed.
But black
Use
Americans
the name.
call women mammies all the time.
No, we do not.
Yes, you do.
Don't make that bullshit up in here, bro. Get the fuck up out of this bitch if you want to sit there and disrespect everybody in this town. You call her by Zed.
Okay, all right, guys. Can we get?
I'm not gonna let you sit up here and say this shit.
Okay, come on.
Get ass up out of here, bitch.
Let's respect each other. Come on, guys.
Right. What do you do?
Okay, so why did you call me a mommy? Please, guys, don't respond. Let him respond.
Okay, well, if you listen to what I just said, right? Okay, obviously you're black from which country you're from?
That doesn't matter. I'm black.
Okay, no, but which country you're from? West Africa?
West Africa, yes.
Okay, you're from maybe Cameroon, Ghana, Nigeria.
Yes, Cameroon and Ghana.
Okay. Do you see black men from Latin American countries bashing their women to a pulp on social media?
What does that have to do?
Because this proves my point. They're not doing that. But guess who does this? Black American males all the time. It's
But
all
guess
the
who else
social
do
media.
that?
They
Other men
bash
do
their
that.
women all the
Other men
time.
do that too. Other men do it too. Indian men do it.
Obviously, both of us are not Black Americans. So let's
I am
just-
Black, you're not.
No, but we're not Black Americans. That's
I
what
am
I'm
Black,
talking
you're
about.
not.
Okay, but we're talking about directly about Black Americans, not Blacks from your side of the coin.
Racism affects me.
See, like this is exactly. That's really she's a mammy. She's going by Western values, Western ideas. She's going by the Western ideas of the one drop rule. She looks biracial. I'm not gonna lie. She looks light skinned. Like, and she's pushing the one drop rule. That's literally showing that you're a mammy. By default.
Me the same Latin
Okay,
American.
but we're talking about Black Americans.
But it doesn't matter.
What's that got to do with calling her by her name? You still haven't made your point. What does that have to do with calling her by her name?
It does matter about Black Americans because whether you like it or not, they are influencing the West Africans. They are influencing.
Man, you reaching like a motherfucker. You are not explaining why you have not called her by her name. Call her by her name.
Okay, hold on there. What I'm saying is that we talk
Should I call
about
you
West
a
Africans,
racist
right?
because you are calling me
West
mommy? Should I call you a
African people,
racist?
right? They have a problem with Black Americans, and the reason why is the same with the Jamaicans too. Andrew knows this. He's not dumb. Andrew's not dumb. Wait, hold on. Andrew's not dumb. He knows that there's tons of Jamaicans that don't like Black Americans. He knows this.
Yes,
You can't respect people by calling her by their name. You get the fuck out of here. You still haven't explained why you can't do it. You still have not explained why you can't call her by her name. Her name is Zed. You Zed.
Cam, let me tell you something. Can I speak? I criticize passport bros, but the way you criticize them had a lot of racist thing to it. And
No, you don't. You do not criticize them. You're over here having nice conversations. You're over here in harmony with the passport bros on your panels. Like you over here making I watch your streams. I lurk your streams. Like you over here having nice, normal conversations with these passport bros. Like you have them on 24/7 on your panel. Like they completely invaded your fucking. They invaded your platform. You banned me. I was actually an ally. You banned me, who's actually an ally, but you don't ban. But you allow these passport bros to constantly just 24/7 on your panel. Like, and I'm not complaining. It's your platform. I'm respecting your private property, your platform. That's why I no longer show up on your platform. I respect your platform, your private property. I actually believe women have have rights, unlike passport bros. But I respect your platform. But you allow passport bros, these Black American males who are passport bros, stay on your panel 24/7 for long periods of time. You're a mammy. I'm sorry, like you're a mammy.
And like I have said, I don't know the maybe.
You don't criticize these guys at all whatsoever. They invaded you. You lost your goal. You lost your agenda. You lost your goalpost. You lost your goalpost, and now you're running around. Wait, what was that phrase again? You're running around with no tail on. No. You lost the goalpost, and now you're over here chasing your own tail, like you're like a dog chasing your own tail. You lost the goalpost, and now your platform is literally just like you're just dishonest. Like you need to take notes. You need to take notes, establish your arguments, memorize them, and keep your word. But you failed to do that and I don't blame you. You're a boomer. You sound like a boomer. You're like what, 60 years old, 70 years old. So I don't blame you. This internet stuff is new to you. You don't know how to maneuver yourself around the internet. How to deal with trolls and critics on the internet. I don't blame you.
Mayor, he was trying to make Black men the face of sexual tourism, when in reality we know that the major sex tourists are white men. So we know that your culture has a lot of problems with racism. You guys literally tried to genocide.
Why are you defending Black American guys?
Because I'm Black.
Wait a minute, what about the Black guys from West Africa?
Why you said that? What does that got to do with their fucking name? What's that got to do with their fucking name? Her name is Zed. Use her fucking name or get the fuck out of here.
Let me say this.
Bro, yelling, actually have arguments, bro. Yelling like this. Bro, what is the point? What is the point? Well, I get the point. I know the point. you know, you go on, you're friends with Zed. You have a personal friendship with Zed as a passport bro. So you're defending her. You're like, yeah, I understand that.
When West Africans go to Africa. Okay. It's like the most weirdest thing.
What is her name, Cam? Shut the fuck up. What is her name?
I think it's
Say her fucking name right now.
That's a man,
Get the
sir.
fuck up out of here.
And you are a racist, sir. You are a racist.
What's her name?
I don't think. Yeah, these guys, these guys are new into this scene, into the passport bro community. Like these guys are not like Andrew and Kim have been beefing since like the 2017, 2016. Like yeah, all these guys are old heads and they look fucking ugly, bro. Papi Rico, Ron and Traveler, Fearless, all these guys look fucking ugly as fuck. They look feminine. Fearless is wearing a pink shirt like a little bitch.
Racist.
Say her fucking name right now.
God damn, my algorithms, bro.
My man, racists are pieces of shit, man.
Say her fucking name, Cam.
I did say her name is women too.
Bump his ass, man. Bump his ass. Bump his ass. He's got to fucking go. Give him respect by calling her his head. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Fairly keep the conversation straight because you can't
knows this.
somebody's
He's
name.
not lost. He knows about Jamaican.
Hold on for a second.
You're gonna let him sit here and disrespect somebody on your panel. He can't call her by her name is dead. He's gonna use a racial slur like Manny. He's got to fucking go.
Hold up, Zed. Let me say something.
Let Fearless say something. Hold on, go ahead, Fearless.
Kim, I think you were saying that other cultures don't like blacks, but there's blacks that don't like blacks.
Yes.
But what happens is,
No, I said
it's like
Black
if I want to call,
Americans,
my own culture, like if I want to call my mom is acting like a bitch, I can.
No,
do
I said Black Americans. That's what
hold up, brother. Let me talk.
Okay, Negro.
If I say
Black American,
if I say within my family, my mom or my sister
No, I would
acting
beat
like a
you
bitch.
pillar to post if I fucking saw your ass right now.
Hold up, bro, nigga, I got you.
Go ahead.
If I said that about my family,
he just said, "Come on, Negro," to you. I mean, come on.
It's all right, come on, Kim. We gave you the respect of the platform. Let Fearless go ahead and continue. Go ahead.
See, the thing, I don't get into that, man. Those are people who are keyboard warriors. But here's the thing:
The white boys right about this.
the thing is, in any race or any culture, we can talk amongst ourselves. That's why I can say something about my family, and you cannot say something about your family.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're gonna make that point, then stay the fuck out of my community. Talk smack about your own family and keep it within your own family. Don't bring that shit over in Latin America into my community. You guys are using Hispanic women as a weapon to attack your own women. You're affiliating yourself with my community. So I have every right to respond back and make content and speak out.
So if it's white, I know whites to say, I'm white, and that person's trailer park trash. I know Latinos to say the same thing. So within the culture, we can do it. Outside of the culture, when you say that, it becomes malice, and that malice is undertoned with racism. So when you say that, that sounds racist.
Okay.
And it's great that you can be the superstar on the keyboard. I'm just saying, if you go outside of the screen, I would not say that on the street.
I like how he likes to he's making fun of Kim, but bro, you're dating out of your community. You're not dating your own women. You're not fucking or dating your own women. Like, you're the one that's feminine, bro.
Streets that you don't want people to film on. That wouldn't be good to you.
You don't give a fuck about that.
Well, okay, in real life, here's the thing. First of all, in real life, when it comes to black and white Americans, I think you guys are both losers. I don't talk to neither both of you groups in real life, because I really don't. In real life, when I see white Americans looking kind of weird.
Bro, why are you letting this
I mean, listen, they're
So, Kim, why you're wet back in America then? What is your wet back in America?
He's gonna call this a win on his channel. I'm trying to.
I don't know if you're wet back in America.
If you look
Oh, I went and confronted those niggers over on the other channel. Look at how strong I was. They couldn't do shit to me. Man, get this motherfucker up off the goddamn channel.
Look at him.
One second, let him talk.
Right, as Carlos is here. I know what you listen. You're having it colonized by the British. So what happens? Y'all worship pale skinned people, and they're ugly, like that guy you're showing. That guy's a pale skinned guy.
Kim, you said that black Americans, white Americans are bad. So what type of American are you? So that I know which ones are the good ones.
Okay, there's no good ones here.
So are you not an American?
No, don't want to.
So you don't live in America?
Oh, yes.
I live in the United States.
In the basement.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Do you have an American passport?
Yes.
That would make you an
And a
American.
Mexican, and a Mexican one too.
It makes you an American.
So you're
you said you're ignorant. You have to be ignorant.
And a Mexican one too. And also
what? Were you born in America?
I was raised in America, actually.
Okay.
Were you born in America?
Were you born in
Actually, okay, I was born in the United States, but I was raised part-time in Mexico, and then moved to the United States.
You're an American.
Yeah.
If you
No, I understand that. Listen, I understand that. No,
do you think the Mexicans are doing
here's the
better?
thing.
So are the Mexicans doing better?
No, but here's the thing. There's a reason why there's a clash between immigrants from other countries versus the Americans here.
This motherfucker trying to give us a.
Yeah, there is a clash.
There's a clash because a lot of immigrants.
In 2020.
Now for me personally, how I would respond to that would be like, yeah, I'm an American, but I actually know the culture. I have family down there.
There's no good ones here.
So are you not an American?
No, don't want to.
So you don't live in America?
Oh, yes.
I live in the United States.
In the basement.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Do you have an American passport?
Yes.
That would make you an
And a
American,
Mexican one.
brother.
And
I
a
mean,
Mexican one too.
it makes you an American.
So you're
What you
doing
said
too.
you're ignorant. You'd have to be ignorant.
And a Mexican one too. And also
Hey,
a
what?
Filipino one.
Were you born in America?
I was raised in America actually.
Okay.
Were you born in America?
Were you born?
Okay, so
Actually, okay, I was born in the United States, but I was raised part-time in Mexico, and then moved to the United States.
You're an American.
Yeah.
If you
No,
don't
no,
like
no, I understand.
American-
Listen, I understand that. No, no,
Do you
but
think the Mexicans are
but
doing
here's the thing.
better? So are the
But here's the
Mexicans doing
thing.
better?
No, but here's the thing. There's a reason why there's a class.
yeah, I'm American, but I have family down there, and I speak Spanish. I know Spanish fluently, and I have family down in Latin America. You guys don't. You guys don't know the culture. That's how I personally would respond to that question.
From other countries versus the Americans here.
This
And
motherfucker trying to give us a.
there is a clash.
There's a clash because a lot of
Fucking
immigrants.
2024, motherfucker. What the fuck are you talking about? We're talking about right now. What the fuck is her name?
This guy is trying to have a multi.
Going around fucking Robin Hood's farm on the fucking history book. God damn.
Hold up, y'all going back and forth with this guy. I don't understand. Listen, y'all going back and forth with this guy trying to get him to call her name, say her name. I don't understand why y'all don't call this bitch ass cracker by his name, Kimberly. Well, he's not a cracker. He's
Hey, cracker. You call him a cracker. Oh god, that's hilarious. You called him a cracker. Bro, that was so cringe, bro. Yeah.
Mexican.
But you got your cracker right here, Poppy, right
He's
here.
not a Mexican. He's a Mexican. He's a Mexican.
Exactly. He's
Yeah,
definitely not a
the thing
Mexican.
is, what is
Because
the-
it doesn't matter. 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 His bitch ass name is Kimberly. I would agree with that. Big game. Fucking Kimberly. Chúpame la
No,
pinga.
we just want to know, like, I want to know.
He's wasted. How many minutes this motherfucker been up on the camera?
Well, okay, guys.
You like it's not my town.
You know what? You want to get another racial slur? Before you go, you want to say what? Another fucking racial slur? Get the fuck up out of here, bro.
No, okay, let's be honest. So this is what guys. Can I speak?
No, you can't say shit. Shut the fuck up and
Can
listen.
we speak?
Hold on. You ain't got no privileges here, bitch.
Hey, Kimberly. You should stay in a woman's place and keep your mouth shut.
Hold on, can I speak? You guys tolerate this kind of racism. This is what happens because
Don't you blame us for this shit?
I do because I do not. I kick out.
This what the hell are you waiting on?
Can I speak? I kick out. There is the act of Will, who is a very racist guy. You give him platform. There are a lot of racists who get platform.
Yup, ROL. He said, ROL is a pastor, bro. He's Asian. He's an Asian American. Pastor, bro.
On you guys, they don't. I kick out racists, and I am your your biggest critics, the biggest critics of the passport bros. But I do not let racists.
If I had the butt, he would have already been gone. So what you trying to say?
He should not have been even. I mean, you guys know him by name. We were all removed when he came in. It's as if you guys respect him. Why would we be kicked out for
Who's respecting him? What word did you hear come out of my mouth that was respectful? When did I say something that was fucking respectful to that fucking room?
Hey Zed, when did I say?
I have not respected that motherfucker since you walked in the goddamn room.
But weren't we all?
I just came back on the panel. I just came back on the panel and called him all kinds of bitches. So how am I being respectful?
Girls love that, very romantic. And I would say like Ritual can be a little expensive just for you and a girl. Might be it would probably be around $50 to $60 for the both of you, and Colasol even a little bit less than that. And then adding on to that, Restaurante Ocus. So Restaurant Ocus, OKUS is a good one. That is an Asian restaurant. Ritual and Colasol are just, I don't know how to say it, like general food. They got like steaks, pastas, seafood. They got like the whole nine. And then beyond that, there's a lot of restaurants in Provenza. You know that neighborhood? That's like the more upscale version of Gieras, where Gieras is basically devolved into a brothel. Provenza is like the more, let's be honest, it is. Provenza is like more upscale. I like some restaurants. Well, actually, it's not in Provenza. It's in Manila, which is almost Provenza. Malevo is like a steakhouse. There's a lot of good Peruvian restaurants there, but you pretty much can't go wrong. I mean, Colombia has a reputation for not having good food, but Provenza is pretty good. And I think, two things to also note for date ideas or just going out. Some of the nicest rooftop lounges are at that hotel that I told you got robbed, Click Clack, and then another one called Envy, like as in like jealousy, ENVY, Envy.
Bro, all those shit, all those places that he's naming, they're all owned by cartel members. Like that, all that shit's owned by cartel members. Like
the Envy rooftop at the Charlie Hotel, but you're like spinning a roulette wheel versus like when you get to the door, they're gonna tell you that your date doesn't comply with the dress code. When they tell you that your date doesn't comply with the dress code at Envy or Click Clack, what that means is they think you're a dirty gringo sex tourist and she's a prey pago. They're like, oh, she's too hot for you, bro. Like, come on, we know you must be paying her. Is what they're at. It doesn't matter how. Like, I brought a girl there with a skirt that literally cut off at her knee, and they're like, oh, well, the skirt is above the knee. You're like, okay, she like pulled it down, so it was like damn near like past the knee. Like, no, it's still because we already saw it above the knee at one point. We're like, okay, I get what's going on here, and it's like a thing. It's been talked about a lot that these places have really random tough doors. So I would say actually avoid Envy and Click Clack rooftops just specifically for those reasons.
Wow, that's some good information. I didn't know that about her.
Yeah, you can avoid a very embarrassing time.
Yeah. So, what about simple dates? Did you?
Oh god, dude, did Austin I'm looking at Austin's channel. He has a scheduled stream today. Brazilian man. Hold up. A Brazilian man tells the truth about Brazil. By the way, I have the link. You can join my Discord. I put the link. You can join the Discord. You can join a Discord chat. To chat and have fun. I have the link. So if anybody want to just jump in and say their word and talk or just chill, like I don't really care.
So you said usually the best date is a restaurant. What about something else like walking through Comuna 13 or?
Yeah, so I've never done that. I'm not big on like a walking tour and this and that, but I know actually one good date idea for go to Parque Arvi, which could be a fun experience. Did you ever go to Parque Arvi?
I don't think so.
So you take this metro cable way up, and you go like literally like into the wilderness. You'll probably take a metro. I guess you can take an Uber, but it's probably even faster to take a metro there, I guess, depending on the day of the week. And then you go up the metro cable, and then you get there, and they have like, I don't know, all these types of like little snacks that you can buy, like chocolate covered strawberries and other like little sweets. And then they also sell, I don't know what you would call them, like funny little like tchotchkes, like little fake, gemstones, earrings. You see those things where like people take like copper wire and they make like a tree out of it. You know what I'm talking about? It has like little, I don't know, they're kind of like copper. Or a guy will take wire to like form like a bicycle,
almost like an ornament.
Yeah,
art thing.
Yeah. I think they're called tchotchkes. Is the name, yeah. And then food, all types of little like snacks, not just like sweets but snacks. And then you can walk around, and then it's like nature. The air is very fresh. You just feel, because Meridian's kind of, because of the geography, it's like a little bowl. It's like a little dish, and then the pollution just kind of gets trapped in the bowl. But when you're up there, you're above that, and the air is cleaner. It's a fun little hike. It's like naturey, but not too naturey. And then I'm trying to think about.
Idyllic mountain living is closer than you think. Tehachapi Hills is a single-family.
Miscommunication there. I was thinking like.
And my first trip to Medellin, I did go on dates, and the first one was a dinner date.
You didn't go on a date, bro. Those are prostitutes. Dude, I'm sorry. Like, if you go to a dating app and you see those women with fake tits and ass, those are prostitutes. They're criminals too. They're rejects. They have family issues. They never had a father. They don't have a father figure. Like those women that come from broken families. Those are not local, traditional, Catholic, Colombian women from Medellin. Those women, the women that Colombian men get, are actually traditional, natural. They have their petite, they're petite, or they have they have a natural big ass, natural big tits, and they actually know how to cook and clean, and you're not getting those women. I'm sorry, like those women are already taken by Colombian men from the countryside. Like you guys are like not even near the locals, bro. I know Spanish, like I know Spanish. I have family down in Latin America. I went to Latin America. I was with the locals. I went to my local neighborhood in Latin America, and yeah, like I already knew this. Like, the women you guys are getting are trash. Like you guys are not gonna compete with actual beautiful high-end Hispanic Latina chicks.
The second one, I believe, was a double date at like a salsa bar where everybody was dancing salsa. I thought that was pretty cool, but those were the only chicks I dated in Medellin.
You guys are fucking ugly. You guys are over here selling a lie about getting a wife, which you're not. You're over here using your women you're over here using Latino women as a weapon to attack your own. You're using prostitutes, Latino prostitutes, to attack your own American women. By comparing them, saying that they're more traditional, which they're not to you. You're just prostitutes. You're lazy, over here promoting the digital nomad behavior. Like local Colombian guys, they don't talk like that, bro. They don't talk about Bitcoin. Like, they're laughing in your fucking face if you mention Bitcoin or digital nomad jobs. These guys are masculine. They know how to build a house. They know how to build. They know how to start businesses. Entrepreneur. They know how to dance. They're romantic. They're actually attractive. They have good genetics. They came from a healthy family, unlike you. You guys come from broken families. You look fucking ugly. You have bad genetics. You see race all the fucking time, which is so cringy. You push the one drop rule like a fucking weirdo. You guys are not family oriented. You will never be Latino. You don't know Spanish. You have no family down there. Black American males, y'all self-hate. Going down there for light-skinned women. with real hair that look nothing like you.
Besides that, I dated some foreigners when I was there the second time.
What do you guys?
How come y'all Black American males don't go to Jamaica, Haiti? How come you're not going to Haiti or Jamaica or Africa? You guys are not going down there because you know you dark skin, because you think dark skinned women are fucking ugly.
Yeah, you can't tell by my complexion. I'm not much of a dancer. I don't have much rhythm if it wasn't obvious. So, but yeah, if you dance salsa, I guess that's a great cheaper date. And there's another place that I just remembered now. It's called La Octava. It's in Provenza. Then everybody talk about La Octava, and it has a ball pit. Kind of like when we were kids at McDonald's or whatever, there'd be like the ball pit. It's fun because I don't know. At least every time that I've been there, I'll like pick the girl up, do like a full-on shoulder press with her, and like throw her into the ball pit. And obviously, they don't get hurt because they're falling on the balls. But for her to like be picked up and scooped and like tossed and like feel all my, it's kind of like it's like the preview. You know, she feels like, oh shit, this is what it's gonna feel like when this man grabs a hold of me. And you know, girls are all fucking masochists. They love to be smacked and beat up consensually. Pause. And it's just kind of fun. You get to like throw around the ball pit, feel like kids. Yeah, I mean, you kind of like, you know, women are very much like the song. Like girls just want to have fun. So to have her like connect with her child, like again, you're throwing around the ball pit. You throw a little ball at her, she throws the ball at you, or you do fun shit like she'll hold the ball up in a hand and then you try to like knock her. I don't know. It's just like playing. It's like kids again. It's really fun.
So with those date ideas in mind, what are some cultural differences that you should know that could affect your dates that would be useful?
Hi, we're Visible, the wireless company that makes things visible. With us, what you see is what you get.
Yeah, so okay, I have a lot to say here. Let's start with this. There's a very unfortunate negative reputation with Medellin, with foreigners, all foreigners. You've heard about this, right? Like a lot of your the people you stream with have talked about this, right? Especially, I think it's even it's all foreigners. It's Asian, white, but I think even Black foreigners may get pegged even a bit more as the sex tourist. I'm correct, right? I think.
I've seen a recent video of them.
No, all of them. Bro, they're talking about all of y'all equally at the same level. They're attacking all of y'all the same. Y'all gringos are fucking ugly. Look at yourself in the fucking mirror. You look unattractive. And you're over here trying to shit on Latino men saying that they're unattractive. No, it's actually the other way around. Latino men are actually the most attractive men on planet Earth. You guys are fucking ugly.
Like with the go home gringo shit.
Yeah,
they had that, and they had a white guy on the beach with like a grown out beard drinking a beer. But then when they played the clip of real life, it was some black guys, and they picked the worst black guy. They picked one that just looked like a straight pedo, and then the other one had like these long dreads.
Kicking him out of Jairus, right?
Yeah,
he was like pushing the police back.
Yeah, those two guys. Yeah, that was their representation.
So true story.
Bro, they don't see race. They just see a gringo.
It was some black guys, and like with the go home gringo shit.
Yeah,
they had that, and they had a white guy on the beach with like a grown out beard drinking a beer. But then when they played the clip of real life, it was some black guys, and they picked the worst black guy. They picked one that just looked like a straight pedo, and then the other one had like these long dreads.
Kicking him out of Jairus, right?
Yeah.
Bro, look at Casey. Oh yeah, They don't like you. You black. Oh yeah, bro. They're looking at you the same way. You're fucking ugly, bro. They don't like foreigners in general. They Colombians want to see other Colombians. They don't want to see other foreigners. And also, Casey tries to give shots at Latinos. He tries to give shots at Latinos, saying that, oh well, Colombians don't like Mexicans. Colombians don't like Puerto Ricans. No fucking shit. And we don't care. We care about our own culture. We don't care. Mexican guys and Puerto Rican guys are fucking their own women. They don't care. And that's okay. They're Latinos are we're tribal. You're literally making our point. We're tribal. You know, you're the ones that are hurt. You're the ones that are bitching. You're the ones that are bitching that Colombians don't like you because you actually fucking want them because you know you look ugly.
He was like pushing the police back.
Yeah, those two guys. Yeah, that was their representation.
So true story. The mayor of Medellin is actually, I don't know if he's still doing it. At one point, he was literally, as people were getting off the plane, he was handing them pamphlets or flyers that say, "Hey, just in case you're here for sexual tourism, cut that shit out. Don't try it here. We don't want you here. But if you're not, enjoy." Like, and I thought that was funny. Like, imagine if Colombians land in Miami and then the mayor of Miami's got to fly just in case you're here for cocaine smuggling.
It's their sovereign state. You're in a foreign country. You're in Colombia. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They can have a flyer that says they don't want. They can say anything. It doesn't matter. They don't want fucking, they don't want Mexican. They don't want me. Colombians can make a flyer that says they don't want Mexican Americans. And I don't care because I'm Mexican. I don't care. You're the ones that are hurt. You're the ones that are hurt, bro, because you hate yourselves. Colombians can put out flyers. I don't want Mexican Americans. They're Americans, just like the rest of the gringos. And I don't give a fuck because I know I'm Mexican.
Try that, don't try that shit here. Like, imagine like if that's your first impression of America as a Colombian, getting like, stereotyped as like a Colombian drug dealer just because you're Colombian. So yeah, there's a very bad reputation.
And yeah, Colombia is a developing country. They have their own sovereign state. They can do what the fuck they want.
Reputation. So it's you're going to want to quickly explain to girls that like you're not that type. Normally you never want to qualify yourself to the girl. You never want to say things to try to impress her or get her validation and say, well, just so you know, I would be good boyfriend material and I don't cheat and I went to this good university. You just never want to come off because if you already thought you were the shit, you wouldn't like, seek other people's validation. But in this case, it's warranted to clearly separate yourself and say, hey, just so you know, I'm not one of those like gringo tours. I'm not one of those passport bros. And separate that and just understand.
Yeah, you are.
And that right off the bat, you're going to be kind of like pegged as that.
Excuse me, sir. Would you like the chicken or pasta?
I'm not one material, and I don't cheat, and I went to this good university. You just never want to come off because to try to you're Colombian. So yeah, there's a very bad reputation. So it's you're going to want to quickly explain to girls that like you're not that type. Normally you never want to qualify yourself to the girl. You never want to say things to try to impress her or get her validation and say, well, just so you know, I would be good boyfriend material and I don't cheat and I went to this good university. You just never want to come off because if you already thought you were the shit, you wouldn't like, seek other people's validation. But in this case, it's warranted to clearly separate yourself and say, hey, just so you know, I'm not one of those like gringo tours. I'm not one of those passport bros. And separate that and just understand that right off the bat, you're going to be kind of like pegged as that. A lot of chicks asking for money there. That's unfortunately becoming a more and more normal kind of cultural thing. And that is just kind of like part of their culture is that it all goes back to the drug dealing days, the Pablo Escobar days, and the narco days. It was kind of like this like fast money culture, right? Like the guys are going to sell drugs and become hitmen or I don't know, smuggle drugs, do whatever they can to make quick money. And the women are going to, sell their bodies. And it's very much of a like, it can be a very transactional type city. So that's a very big cultural difference. As bad as it is in America. I mean, American chicks, to be fair.
Bro, those narco members, dude, they're not married with prostitutes. They're not with, like, yeah, they smash prostitutes, but like, they're not married with they're married with actual local women.
Fair. They're almost as bad these days, in terms of asking for you to pay their bills.
Yeah, they like to talk shit about the forum. I'm like, they're going to use you for money. And I'm like,
don't you?
That's not really new to us.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a new story. I think that's pretty much ingrained in us by now. So
yeah,
I'd rather get used for a fifth of the price.
There we go. I like that mentality. Use for a fifth of the price. I'd rather be used for my pesos rather than my dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
What other cultural differences? Latin culture even more is like, yeah, the man should lead. I'll put it this way. All that.
Yeah, we've been saying it's traditional.
Shit that doesn't work on American chicks, like being romantic, actually being upfront about your intentions, actually showing that you care and like them, actually like, not, I don't know, like with American chicks, you got to constantly push them away and make you think of other options and make them chase and act like a bad boy and wait 3 days between texting them. Don't try none of that shit here. Just be very, very sweet. And that shit does actually.
Ew. Bro, this fucking ogre telling you have to be sweet to Colombia. Ew, bro, can you imagine this guy being sweet to a Colombian? Ew, dude, can you imagine Casey Redbeard trying to be sweet to a Colombian chick? To a prostitute? Bro, it's fucking hilarious. He's approaching a prostitute. Can you imagine that? Like Casey Redbeard, like approaching a prostitute and, hello, how's it going? You look very attractive. You look very beautiful. Because these guys are in the closet, so they're gonna be talking like one. They're gonna be talking like a gay person. These guys are gay. Like, these guys are in the closet. They love them Transformers too. And the prostitute that Casey Redbeard will be talking to is a fucking prostitute Transformer. Hey, how you look very attractive, very beautiful. Oh god, dude, that's ew, that's disgusting.
Actually work. And I would say overall, I guess we're getting a little off topic, but when it comes to dating, and this is kind of off the tangent of cultural differences, just really, really try to understand which girls are the low quality barrio girls that just want expensive dates and are ultimately gonna ask you for money, and which ones are the girls that are actually genuinely interested in you and aren't gonna try to go for a sugar baby, sugar daddy thing.
Okay, so you have to watch out. It's a little worse in America with that kind of stuff, with the transaction you say.
Yeah, definitely. And just more, like I said, the man is the leader, the man's protector, provider, more romantic, more sweet. And that's all I can think of. I mean, there's a lot of cultural differences, but I'm trying to explain them more from like a dating standpoint. Another thing, don't wear shorts, don't wear sandals, just period. Don't wear shorts and sandals. And I mean, yeah, that's all I can think of for right now.
So
don't wear shorts and sandals.
Let's talk about which we pretty much already know this one, the overall foreigner advantage, the wow factor. Just like here in Sao Paulo, I don't think there's a wow factor. What about Medellin? That's kind of a rhetorical question.
Yeah, so in Medellin, so I have two ways. I'll try to make my answer not super long-winded, but and I was talking about this with you, whereas on your live, Medellin has a weird thing where you have a weird genetic pool where the men are extremely unattractive, meek, short. They're all broke. They have a weird effeminate affect. They're not masculine. They're cheaters. They hit their women, and then you have these amazingly beautiful, gorgeous women. So that are feminine, and I guess they have good qualities and bad qualities in their personality. They can be very feminine, submissive, but they can also be very, gold diggery and kind of like entitled, I guess, very beautiful, gorgeous, not masculine, or extremely. Whereas I have two ways. I'll try.
Which we pretty much already know this one. The overall foreigner advantage, the wow factor. Just like here in Sao Paulo, I don't think there's a wow factor. What about Medellin? That's kind of a rhetorical question.
Yeah, so in Medellin, so I have two ways. I'll try to make my answer not super long-winded, but and I was talking about this with you, whereas on your live, Medellin has a weird thing where you have a weird genetic pool where the men are extremely unattractive, meek, short. They're all broke. They have a weird effeminate.
Not true. The men down there are fucking masculine and super attractive. You're fucking ugly, bro. And you're not gonna talk like this to a Colombian man. Go, I dare you. I dare you to record yourself and tell a Colombian man you're unattractive, short, weak. I'm sorry, you're gonna get. Yeah, I'm sorry, you're gonna get like, you're gonna get the belt. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not even joking, bro. You would never talk like this to a Colombian man in front of a face. You're not gonna talk to a Colombian man in front of their face like this.
Feminine affect. They're not masculine. They're cheaters. They hit their women, and then you have these amazingly beautiful, gorgeous women. So that are feminine, and I guess they have good qualities and bad qualities in their personality. They can be very feminine, submissive, but they can also be very, gold diggery and kind of like entitled, I guess, very like they want princess treatment. But anyway, but what I'm saying is, it's a weird thing where I won't come in and just start walking around Brazil and be taller and better looking than every other guy here. Versus like in a country like the Philippines, they worship white skin. I'm the only guy with blue eyes. Me being 5'10", 5'11", I'll be a giant to them. And I'm just gonna, from a superficial appearance and I guess finances perspective, I would just dominate over the local guys in the Philippines. You have that in Medellin.
You're 5'10".
However, you also have the negative foreigner stereotype against you. So it's like most of us, 90% of us are going to be taller, better looking, more masculine, more intelligent, and make more money than the locals. So
taller, more masculine, more money. Oh my fucking god. Notice he did not mention anything about Colombian culture. Look at how arrogant this fucking retard is. He did not mention one thing about Colombian culture. He just named a bunch of Western attributes, a bunch of fucking American attributes that cater to their culture. That cater to Western culture. Nothing that caters to Colombian culture. Let's repeat that.
Finances perspective, I would just dominate over the local guys in the Philippines. You have that in Medellin.
I would just, okay, first of all, I'm not Filipino. Filipinos, you speak out, you speak for your own community, make your own YouTube channel, speak for your community. I'm Latino, I want to speak for my community, so I'm not going to respond to that.
However, you also have the negative foreigner stereotype against you. So it's like most of us, 90% of us are going to be taller, better looking, more masculine.
Taller, better looking, more masculine, really? You guys come from broken families, and you're fucking lazy talking about digital nomad jobs. How's that masculine?
More intelligent and make more.
More intelligent? Intelligent is a broad term. Like, what do you mean more intelligent?
Money than the locals?
More money? Okay. They don't, yeah, the prostitutes and Latinos from the resorts, yeah, they care about only your American dollar. But the local Colombian guys, they don't give a fuck about your American dollar. They know agriculture. They know how to grow crops. They know how to build a house. They're very utilitarian. They don't care about you or your American dollar.
So we'll have that to our advantage, but we'll also have the negative sex tourist gringo stereotype against us. So what does that mean? In my experience, I think there's still roughly about 15 to 20% of women in that city that are still willing to date gringos and give gringos a chance. Unfortunately, that 15% doesn't typically, in my experience, come from the highest quality, educated, classy, English-speaking pool of the population. That 15% to 20% comes from more of the low class. But just
okay, this guy's an idiot. Like, I don't think he realizes, but pastor bros don't like English-speaking Latinas. Because they're smart. Because they're smart. They're westernized already.
Just understand that probably 70 to 80% of girls are going to write you off completely for being foreigner.
And I'm just thinking, like, if you're over here if you're over here like openly trying to date out desperately, they're gonna think like these Colombian chicks are gonna start thinking like, okay, so what the fuck is going on here? And why are you so desperate in dating out? Why don't your American women like you? What the fuck is going on here? Why are you fucking ugly?
Yes, even if you're a Latino foreigner, even if you're Puerto Rican or something like that, you're still not paisa.
Wait. Yes, if you're a Latino foreigner. Yeah, you're a fucking idiot, bro. Latinos, they don't give a fuck about Colombians. Other Latinos don't give a fuck about Colombians in terms of like dating out. In terms of like dating their women. Yeah, they care about Colombians in terms of like, cumbia, their music, their dancing styles. But in terms of like women, other Latinos are fucking and dating and marrying their own women. They couldn't care less for Colombian women. Like, I'm sorry, like, you guys are the ones like this, being desperate, being feminine, not other Latinos.
They still, you're not from Medellin. They don't even like other Colombians. They don't even like people from Bogota or the coast. So understand that, yeah, 70 to 80% are going to write you off no matter what. But that 15 to 20% is going to be hyper attracted to you because your only other competition is other competition from foreigners. You have zero local competition because, like I just said, you're going to be taller, more masculine, more intelligent, make more money, more romantic, treat them better. So you'll have no. So just within that 10 to 15%, you'll crush it. It'll be some of the easiest layups you ever got. But I mean, still don't expect like the 9s and 10s to line up for you. It'll be mostly like 7s. But
yeah, you guys are not getting the 10s, which Colombian men are getting. You guys will never compete with Colombian guys. You guys are fucking ugly. Look at your fucking self in the mirror, bro. Bro, you have a fucking rash on your fucking forehead. You have a fucking rash on your scalp. Can you imagine approaching a woman? Can you imagine approaching a 10 with a fucking rash on your forehead like that? On your fucking scalp like that? Oh god, bro.
Yeah, and also expect that most of them will write you off just for being a foreigner.
Wow, interesting. So I didn't know that the local Colombian men were short back then.
You didn't notice that?
No,
I
didn't really look at the
men are just invisible.
The average height for a Colombian man, I believe, is like 5'7". I'm taller. I'm above. I'm above average for Latino men. I'm 5'10", 5'10" to 5'11". So yeah, I'm above average for Latino men. But Latino men by average height is 5'7". You know, they're pretty short, I guess. Pretty short.
Well, yeah, they have men in Colombia.
Yeah, I can't really remember what the men look like. Like in Brazil, you can, Paraguay, Uruguay.
But again, like that height attribute that is being like catered to is not applied in Latin America. That's a Western thing again.
Stephanie, my parents are here.
Argentina.
That's a Western thing. Motherfuckers be tripping out here, bro. You dig? God fucking damn.
But yeah, in Medellin, I don't really remember the men too much.
And again, let's have you answer this question more in the perspective of a black guy. You said it was a 7 out of 10 in terms of like your receptiveness, but I mean, how would you say? Let's try 3 like continents. We could break it by country or continent, but let's just say I'll do it. Let's do Bangkok, Kenya, and Medellin. Which one did you feel like was like, oh, you could just come in there and just take your pick, and also you gotta not only could you take your pick, but the girls were beautiful too.
Between Bangkok, Kenya, and Medellin, Kenya.
Kenya was the best, yeah.
It was.
Oh, you got Brad here. We have the Irish Brad here. Kenya. Oh no, I can't go to Kenya. No, too many dark-skinned women. They're gonna see me as racist.
You can have your pick in Bangkok, but it's like pay for play. Like
okay.
you can pick, everybody like that. Everybody can pick there. But Kenya, yeah, I felt like you could get high quality, attractive women, and it'd be, I don't want to say easy. It wouldn't.
No, I'm not gonna speak for Africans. I'm not African. Zed can. I have no hard feelings for Zed. Like Zed can speak on that. I'm Latino. I'm only gonna speak on Latino topics. Yeah.
Be that hard.
Let's just say without headaches.
Without headaches, without back,
doing
back and having to be a monkey. Yeah, you don't have to do all that. Just go over there and be yourself in Kenya. You'll be wearing a bracelet just like I am.
So in Medellin, it wasn't just like a free for all, super easy. You get on Tinder and gorgeous girls were just lining up for you and super eagerly want to date you, or was it in Medellin?
My Tinder was actually right back then, and my Tinder did very well in Cali.
Oh, that's
but
right.
Medellin, it wasn't. It was just normal. Some dudes do. Some dudes do good with the Tinder there, but not for me.
You also got to be careful
yeah,
on
that
Tinder
too.
too. Yeah,
that too.
They're all. Oh, another one is Colombian Cupid. That's a big. If you want to get girls that maybe haven't been run through by as many gringos, and perhaps I would not perhaps would definitely have a much fewer. Lower probability of having the criminal gangs and the scopolamine girls go for Colombian Cupid. Remember like OK Cupid or YouTube after that? Remember OK?
What the fuck? Colombian Cupid?
Cupid, yeah, I guess it's like Colombian Cupid, yeah. So there you go. That's a little bit of a goal.
But he guy's a fucking nerd. Like, he has a list of all the fucking dating apps. Like, bro, like, Colombian men don't even know what the fuck Tinder is. Or, like, I'm sorry, like, they just go to the nightclub. Yo, you want to dance? They ask a 10, a Colombian chick who's actually a 10 to dance. They do their salsa dancing, and then they drink some beer, have some fun, together, and then they go to their pad and have some amazing sex. They have some actually good sex. That's another argument. You guys are bad in bed. You guys have a low libido. You guys literally have a low libido. You're fucking weak. You're lazy. You're bad in bed. Like,
nugget. I wouldn't say you have 0% chance of finding a scopolamine girl on there, but it'd be much less than the other apps. Okay, cool. So should we go to the next one then?
Yeah. So I guess to summarize that one, there is not really a wow factor. You would say
there is and there isn't, right? It's like, just to summarize again, 80 to 90, somewhere between 70 and 90%. Who knows? Let's compromise. 80% of the girls will just not date a foreigner. Point blank. Period. They think we're dirty. They think we're sex tourists, and they just prefer their own kind. It's like there's like white guys who they're not.
Yeah, and you're contradicting yourself.
They just want to date another white girl. There's black guys who they'll fuck around with the Beckys, but they just feel more comfortable dating someone from their culture. You're a black guy, you want a black girl. Doesn't mean you're racist. They'll fuck around with the Beckys for their own kind. It's like there's like white guys who they're not racist. They just want to date another white girl. There's black guys who.
Wait, what? There are just white guys who want to date just white girls? Bro, that is not true, bro. You guys love interracial sex. You love Asian women, bro. You guys love Asian women, love Latino women. You guys are not dating Becky. I'm out here in America, bro. I see a bunch of Beckys. They're mammies. They are desperate to give you children and marry you. But you over here, you're so masculine. You're a feminist. You're so masculine. You don't want to cook and clean. You don't want to cook and clean. You're so masculine.
They'll fuck around with the Beckys, but they just feel more comfortable dating someone from their culture. You're a black guy, you want a black girl. Doesn't mean you're racist. It just means you're more comfortable with people of your same culture. That's how a lot of the girls are there too. They're more comfortable with their own little nitwits from their own little nitwit city, and they want to make little nitwit babies with them, and that's fine. So understand that that's
Damn, that guy sounds hella mad. Colombians, they just want to be with their nitwit boyfriend and have nitwit babies. Colombian women just want to date their own.
The 80% will just not mess with you at all, and then the 20% that will be a lot easier than probably most places you're used to, and they'll be more beautiful than most places that you're used to. But that 20% does not represent the highest quality. First of all, there's not a lot of quality women. Well, in any city, there's not a lot of super quality women. What I would define as a super quality woman, especially not in Medellin, and especially not within that 20% that's willing to date a foreigner. So I guess it would be, let's just call this Medellin is like a Navy SEAL training exercise in screening. If you want to get like the best. How the fuck do you screen for girls that want to rob you and kill you? How do you screen for girls that just want your money? How do you screen girls that are just going to be dumb and boring and no long-term potential or ask you for money? Medellin is like you'll come out with a PhD in how to screen women by staying there for a while.
I can imagine it. With all the things that you've described throughout this module, I could really believe it. So besides women, what are some other fun activities? I believe you named a couple. What are some other fun activities in Medellin?
Yeah, I'm boring, man. There's the what I would do is like just kind of like make my own fun. I would throw these parties. I was kind of boring, but I mean, people do shooting ranges. There's shooting ranges out there. There's ATVs. That's your thing. Dirt bikes, ATVs. What else? They have some cool malls. El Tesoro is a really cool mall. I'm thinking, I guess we're focusing more on like fun activities for the boys now. I wouldn't take one of my boys to the ball pit. A double date would be awesome. There's a Pablo Escobar tour. That's kind of a whack tour. It's like like they say, oh, we're gonna take you to like what was it? I forget the name of his prison, but like if there's nothing there, you go there like, well, here's where it used to be, but there's like nothing to see anymore. Oh, there's great hiking if that's your thing. Envigado, Via Arenales. Just be careful if you do the Via Arenales hike. It's actually on not my Red Beard Rants YouTube, but like I just uploaded the video to my personal YouTube. It got like 10 views. I almost fell off a cliff there and died. Well, I did fall off a cliff. It was a small cliff. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I fell like probably 8 or 9 feet onto pure rock and had to climb out. But yeah, Via Arenales is a beautiful hike. And if you're into hiking, you'll have some of the most gorgeous nature hikes that you can imagine there in Envigado. But maybe take a guide or something because they're not exactly big on like guardrails or anything like that.
Wow, so you fell 8 or 9 feet onto solid rock.
Yeah, it was probably like it was like a ping pong ball. It was probably like I don't know 6 or 7 feet splat, 6 or 7 feet splat. So it was like splat, splat. I did it in like 2 things and fractured my pelvis. And then thank God I was with like 6 or 7 of my friends and they made a lasso. They had some rope because like I don't know, in order to get to this one area, you had there.
Okay, bro, like What are you doing in the mountains of Medellin?
Had to be roped there, so someone who knows once upon a time installed 12 feet.
The Cantina Chicken Crispy Taco isn't just a late night taco. It's a seasoned and slow roasted chicken.
Well, so much for fun.
They have a reason to be angry with us gringos over there because we have gentrified the fuck out of that place. Rents are like triple what they were 5 or 10 years ago.
You gentrified the resorts, bro. Locals don't give a fuck about your resorts. Yeah, sure, you gentrified resorts. Like, who cares?
So if you're watching old videos or old blog posts about prices, just ignore those and only look at the most recent figures. If you want a baller place in El Poblado, they have some super nice places. You're not going to be paying too much less than Los Angeles or Miami prices. Now, are you going to be paying less? Of course. Maybe, if that place was 7,000 or 8,000 in Miami, it's 6,000 in Medellin. So you may be paying 75% of what you would pay, 60 to 75% of what you're paying in Miami. So, okay, not a whole fucking lot differently than what you pay in the States. It can quickly, yeah. Imagine like an epicenter, right? Like here's like the pop-in area where everybody wants, like a bullseye, right? So like the center is like, the red hot, and then as you go out, the bigger circles maybe orange, and then the bigger circle is like a yellow, and then it turns blue. Like the closer you are to Parque Lleras or Centro Comercial Santa Fe or the really nice areas in Provenza, El Poblado, it's going to be just like stupid, silly expensive because you're competing for very limited real estate that everybody wants. But then you go just a little bit out and you're already, maybe 20% cheaper.
Yeah, because you guys are fucking pussies. You're bitches. You know if you leave resorts, you're going to get put on check. You're going to lose your life, get treated like a foreigner even more, potentially lose your life, and that's it.
A little bit further out, now maybe you're 40-50% cheaper. You go like, there's a neighborhood called Barrio Guayabal. Yes, Barrio Guayabal, Guaybal, Guayabal. Anyway, sound it out, Guayabal. And it's just a 5-minute, you got to cross a little bridge, 5 minutes, and boom, you're in the heart of Poblado. And it would be like 20% of that. But anyway, just to kind of wrap up here. So rent on like a nice furnished place, you may be looking at around anywhere. Again, it ranges. Let's just call it 3,000 to 6,000. If you want like ultimate luxury, 6,000, just like a pretty nice place. 3,000. You go a little bit further out, that can drop from 3,000 to easily 2,000 or 1,000 or fucking even like 800 if you go a little bit further out. Ubers are fucking cheap. Your typical Uber is maybe like, I don't know, bro, like $2 to $4 if that, or fucking less. Like for all intents and purposes, in a month, there's no way you could do more than like $60, $70 in Ubers probably.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you could. I guess it depends how far you.
My budget worldwide.
Yeah, shitty for a fairly nice place. It's like a ritual cola salt, around $20, $25.
Okay, really?
Maybe it's really hard to go over $20, $25 even at the nicest places. Except for there's one like Don Diablo Steak, El Cielo, the only Michelin.
Sounds disgusting, actually.
Yeah. Weird. Yeah, it's a super expensive. El Cielo, someone said that in the live chat. Yeah, 2,500. Like you're living pretty fucking well. Like you have roommates and shit to split rent. That's like really, then you're doing well. And then to live like really, really well, like 3,000 to 3,500. Like really well. Like you're in a super nice place. You're eating out every night. Entertainment budget, all that.
So would you say, is it one of those places, maybe one of those places where it makes more sense to buy groceries rather than cook, or vice versa?
I would get a personal chef. They have these things on Facebook for all cities, and they have them in Medellin, these like Facebook expat groups, and they're mostly garbage. It's mostly like the worst, lowest quality people. It's like a meme. Everybody who lives in Medellin knows that. Like you'll go there and ask a simple question, like, yeah, what's the name of that supermarket in Santa Fe? And I forgot the name. Fuck you and die. Just go there. Why would you post that here? Oh, it's like, Jesus, dude, I just asked a simple question. Like they're the most toxic environments, these Facebook groups. But you could use that. There's actually more Colombians in those groups, honestly, than there are gringos. And if you post like, I'm looking for a personal chef, I would say them going to the restaurant, picking out the food, bringing it back, cooking it, and cleaning up afterwards. You'd be like looking on average like $500 to $650 per meal to have like a legit, like a chef went out, bought this, and cooked it fresh in your house. So that's a good option. But yeah, if you're living there and want to live cheap, yeah, you could easily just buy like, I don't know, like ground beef and rice, and bro, you could have like a food budget of like $100 a month.
I think like I haven't cooked in 2 years. Okay. I refuse to cook. There's only one place in the world that made more sense to cook, which was Montevideo, Uruguay, and maybe Santiago, Chile, where it's expensive enough. Yeah, more convenient.
Because think about if you're a busy entrepreneur who's got to, I don't know, maybe come up with a.
Oh my, you guys are not entrepreneurs. You guys are digital nomads, hipsters. Casey Redbeard looks like he's a hipster, bro. He's a fucking hipster. He never suffered and he never worked a real job in his fucking life. He was a normie hipster from Los Angeles. Never suffered in his goddamn life and doesn't know how to work a 9 to 5. Never had a real job. Like, yeah, you're not an entrepreneur, bro. Like,
gigantic 50-module course called the Passport Bro Playbook, for instance, as an example. I don't know who I'm referring to, but hypothetically. For you to order an Uber, get in the Uber, drive there, sit down in the chair, think of what you want, wait for the waiter to come over, ask for it, wait for them to cook it, bring it out. I mean, bro, and then get back, that can be an hour and a half. So think about your time lost by going out there too. So yeah, just having somebody come over and for about, anyway, $5 to $6. Again, if they're cooking just like chicken or ground beef or something, maybe $4, maybe $3. If they're doing meal prep with just like basic shit, you could probably get it down to $2.75 to $3.50 per meal.
Okay.
And just to summarize, I know I give long-winded answers. $1,000 bare bones, $1,500 to $2,000 living pretty good, $3,000 to $3,500 living very well, just to kind of bring it all together.
So give me a couple of tips on how to save money, because like, for example, I've learned in these past 2 years, like I spent way more money by drinking a lot because everything is so cheap. So things that you've always wanted to do a lot, now you can do a lot. For me, that was.
It shouldn't be 6 months tracking that. So go light on that if you're trying to save money. And women in general, whether chicken or not, women are expensive, man. what's like, it was like the old Chris Rock skit. He's like, if I could live in a cardboard box on the streets and get pussy, I would live in a cardboard box. Like we seek success and money and material wealth, and like, is a Rolex to tell the time? Absolutely not. I guess you could say it helps with men networking, business connections, but let's be honest, Rolex is a statement of like, hey bitch, I got money. You might as well just like tattoo, hey bitch, I got money onto your wrist at that point.
Yeah,
So
there's no reason to spend 10,000 if we want to break it down like that. $100 max for a watch. You know, if you want a nice style too. But we start talking about $200,000 watches, that's all just a status symbol.
Yeah. And so anyway, to answer your question, just be miserly, be Jewy. Look at everything you spend, track what you spend, and women dating. It's just women in general. You know, dating is expensive, and try to find like more. I'm gonna say like the date for a girl not to flake. The date should be.
Bro, you're not dating, bro. Those chicks that go on a date with you, they're prostitutes. They're playing you.
Either kind of lavish and
You're not with actual local chicks.
luxurious, at least as perceived in her mind, which usually means expensive, or it could be very unique and creative. Find those unique creative. If you say like, hey, probably most girls have been a laptop at this point, but maybe she wants to go again or something. But like, yeah, like, hey, I got a fun idea. Let's play in the ball pit. You know what I mean? Like be like kids again, and you know, I was like, oh, it's a great idea. And then you just get a couple drinks and an appetizer. I used to cook for girls too. That was I like to go back when I lived in Maine. I had my full kitchen set up and all that.
Okay, so that was just a spin off of the last question on cost of living. So, what are some common scams I should watch out?
You cook for women, bro? First of all, what are you cooking? You're an American, bro. You're probably cooking Mexican food. Yeah, this American male, Casey Rebio admitted to cooking for Colombian women, for Colombian prostitutes. And what are you cooking? Are you cooking Mexican food? You guys, you guys have no food. You guys have trashy food. What are you cooking? You have to be cooking some Mexican food. You guys self-hate.
Yeah, so common scams. Late at night, a lot of taxi drivers, if they have to make change, will try to give you a counterfeit bill.
Really?
So that's definitely one. Yeah, if you have to break sometimes at the ATMs, if you take out any type of large quantity of money, they give like the green 100,000 peso bills, and it's like they're like no business will take them. It's like funny, like you go to the ATM, they only give you these green bills, and then when you want to use them, it's like you're using Japanese yen. They're like, we don't take this currency here. It's like, motherfucker, it's Colombian, but no one wants to break those bills. But if you have to break one of those, especially on a taxi, they can try to give you back fake bills. What else is another common scam there? The main ones are like we talked about earlier. We don't need to delve deeply into these again, but would be the scopolamine and what's another one? And whether it's the short game, and then be aware of the long game as well. But we talked about that with Tao Zherjing or whatever his name was. That girl tricked him over the long term. I'm trying to think. I have some other ones that were on the tip of my tongue. Oh, girls asking for money. If you pick up a girl at a bar that's not near Geras, if it's anywhere near Parque Geras and she's quick to go home with you, she's a prostitute. Don't be an idiot. But if you're on a Tinder date and money has never been discussed, or you're at, I don't know, somehow you found a house party, some random place, or a bar that isn't near.
If you're in Parque Geras and a girl's openly willing to go home with you, she's a prostitute. Don't be an idiot. Bro, all the chicks that you're with are prostitutes. They all have a high body count.
Parque Geras. Any situation that's not involving Geras and you take a girl home and then she asks for money, don't give that bitch shit. It's a very, very common scam. And then sometimes you're gonna get these girls, every gringo's encountered this at least once or twice, where you're about to put your dick in and she goes, wait a minute, like, so we have to, what do they say in Spanish? Tenemos que cuadrar. Cuadro is like, we need to square up, basically. We need to like understand, like, what are you paying me for this? And they never mention it all night. So again, remember, I guess it just goes back to what I was saying. It's like an exercise and screening. And then just, never, even if you're not on a date, if you're just at a bar, just don't ever leave your drink out of your sight. Whenever you probably just don't drink that much when you're in Medellin if you can help it. And then anytime you have a drink, just don't let that motherfucker out of your sight, even with your boys. Eat it, like, because they'll put it, guys will put it in your drink even when you're with your boys.
Bro, just fuck your women, bro. You guys are this, like, really? Just fuck your women, bro. Like, yeah. You guys are fucking cowards, bro. You guys are pussies.
And then when it kind of takes effect, they'll try like, hey, you're American. Hey, cool, let me show you something over here. And then as it's kind of like kicking in, and your boys are like, oh, he just is talking to some locals that they may not notice, and they can start them get people that way anyway.
Wow. So don't trust the locals.
Yeah, definitely don't. Medellin is very much known for, put it this way, right? They kill gringos for sport. Maybe 4, 5, 6 gringos are kidnapped, robbed every month. At least 10 or.
They kill. They kill gringos for sport. Not necessarily. They just want your American dollar. Those are criminals. Like, those criminals just want your American dollar. You guys resist. You guys act arrogant. You guys act like you're the shit. You fight back, and you just get killed. Like, you guys get unalived.
100 times that are drugged but not murdered, and it's all fine when it happens to us. But let a gringo kill a Colombiana. Oh my God! Let a jealous, crazy gringo go ape shit and get jealous and kill his girlfriend. It is the talk of the town. It's there'll be another wave of like anti-gringo racism for months, if not years after that one incident. Oh, but they kill us, no problem. So they see us as kind of like, oh, you're here. And they have an expression, dar papaya. Anybody who's been there knows that expression. It would say give papaya, but what it actually means is like you were looking for trouble. Like dar papaya would be like, I'm on my iPhone 15 and my Rolex at Detroit 2 a.m. and like I'm just so I got this new iPhone and Rolex, and I get robbed, and it's like, well, dude, you went to Detroit at 2 a.m. all alone with a new, like, what did you think was going to happen? It's kind of like a way to victim blame. So yeah, understand that like a lot of the niceness that they give is like very fake. I would say there are some genuine people.
You're in Colombia. You're not in America, bro. You're in their country. You're in their sovereign state. If that's how they think and that's how they rock shit and do things down there, then that's how they do things down there. And if you don't like it, get the fuck out. I'm sorry, get the fuck out then. Fuck your women.
But just be very, very cautious of anybody's kindness. Never accept drinks from people, and never leave your drink unattended.
Okay, and Lexus, thank you for the $1 super chat. English speaking rates. You brought it up briefly a couple times. Can you elaborate more on the English speaking rates?
Yeah, slim to none, and the few women that would do it would be kind of tight. You ever notice that, like, except for J. Cole, every rapper is short? It's like little something, Lil Wayne, little, like they're always little. It's because growing up in the rough environment of the hood and being short, you had to compensate for your shortness and stature by having an extra big personality, right? Easy-E being another classic example of that. So same way on that, the less you have, the more you have to compensate type thing. The girls that speak English are not the typical girls you would want to date. You don't leave Medellin, or sorry, you don't leave the U.S. to go to Medellin to find to date a girl that has the appearance of the typical English speaker there. They're not the prettiest ones. I would say your quality of life.
Self-hate is real. Oh, she knows English. She's a feminist. She's too masculine. She doesn't know how to cook and clean.
Thanks for the $5 super chat again, Alexis. We met. Okay, cool. I didn't know that we met. Cool. Nice we met.
My name is Alfonso, and I got Botox Cosmetic for the first time. The lines that I was concerned the most about were on my forehead. I'm really happy.
Get some survival Spanish. Your enjoyment, your enjoyment will go up triple, quadruple by just speaking some survival Spanish. Because let's be honest, translator dates are pretty boring. And if you really are struggling with the language, Bumble has a setting for like a preference where you can choose English. Like show you, we're doing this out here. We're matching with a lot of English speaking girls here in Sao Paulo, and that's just more common out here. But set the filter on Bumble to show you English speaking girls, and yeah, you'll oddly enough you'll meet more girls who speak English. Did you follow that? Yeah. Do I need to repeat it? Was that no? You set your filter for English, and then you'll match with more English speaking girls. Boom, there you go.
Bro, Bumble, like Colombian guys again, they're not on dating apps. They go in groups to the nightclub, or they go alone to the nightclub, ask a chick to dance, an actual bomb-ass Colombian chick that's a 10 or a 9, and they dance, they have fun, they drink some beer, they go back to the hotel room, have some good sweaty sex, and that's it. They call it a day. You guys can't compete with Colombian guys. Like, I'm sorry.
Try to learn some survival Spanish.
Survival Spanish, bro? Yeah, you're gonna get pawn chick, bro. Survival, really, bro?
Agreed. So that's my statement. I agree. I would agree with it. So lastly, can you tell us more about the visa information, like what the requirements are, pre-check documents, how long can you stay, residency?
Yeah. So visa stuff. I'm not like a pro on this, but the classic, if you fall in love and you want to stay there for a while, the classic easy visa is the student visa. That's the quickest. You could be done with that one in, from start to finish, 2.5 to 3 months. And then there's an option to renew for another year. And unlike some countries, like in Brazil, I'm currently getting my visa here. There's like a whole FBI background check. You've done this too, right? You have to get your fingerprints taken. None of that shit. Anything with bureaucracy and governments is always a hassle, always takes forever. I think the cost I paid, because you got to pay for a year of Spanish classes, and like they want you to actually go. It would be tougher to renew for the year if you've never went to a single Spanish class, which is probably what most gringos do. But pretty quick, easy visa. It was like maybe like 3,000, 4,000 all totaled, which what does that come out to like per month? Like 350 for like 350-ish per month if you want to look on like a per monthly basis to stay there. Then of course there's a digital nomad visa. That's a 2-year visa, and I've heard horror stories and success stories with that. I've heard like I got a great lawyer. They charged me $500 or less, $200, and from start to finish I was accepted and got my it's a 2-year visa. I got my 2-year digital nomad visa. Yeah, for $200-300.
Bro, those guys, dude, those visa lawyers, bro, like, those visa providers, bro, those are scammers, bro. Like, they don't like you. They're all scammers.
And 2 or 3 months of waiting. I've also heard guys that for whatever reason are applying for their 3rd or 4th time and they're denied.
Really?
Or the application got lost. I knew a guy once who, he applied for it. There's a lot of incompetence even with the professionals and the lawyers out there. So it can be kind of a lottery, but I would say your best bet is to cross your fingers and pray to Moses, Allah, and Jesus at the same time and go for a student visa, or a digital nomad visa would be the easiest ones.
Okay, so the residency, you brought it up briefly, but how easy is that to get? You said just fingerprints and the apostille.
Digital nomad visa, really, bro? Really, bro? Digital nomad visa? Yeah, those are scammers. They know you're not gonna survive down there, bro. With that digital nomad shit. Those visa providers, they're scammers. Like, yeah.
Well, that's out here. For Colombia, they don't have any of that shit.
They don't have the residency.
No. Well,
only if listers by investment.
Well, put it this way. What I meant with the fingerprint thing was I'm saying it's just an easier process there. Like in Brazil, I don't know what percentage of countries do and don't do this, but in Colombia, yeah, you're not gonna have to get an FBI background check and get fingerprinted like you do in Brazil. So there's none of that like apostille, which is like being notarized, I guess, like an international notary is apostille. So that, I'm just saying, like, basically, I forget, like, it's been a while. I had a student visa there. That was the one visa that I had. I started applying for a 3-year business visa at one point, but by the end of it, I was just so fed up with the city, I wanted to leave, and I'm much happier here in Brazil. But it was just like normal documents, like a scan of my passport. I don't think I even had to scan or send my birth certificate. Maybe I did, but it was overall a thing. And then yeah, that's a visa. Residency, honestly, I can't answer, but I think like after you've had a couple of visas, say you get a 2-year digital nomad visa or something, and then you renew it again after that. So you've had 4 years. I don't think it's too many hoops to jump through to then get some type of semi-permanent residency there. I think it's pretty easy after that.
Okay, because I know for Paraguay I had to do the fingerprints and the birth certificate as well. So that's good to know that Medellin is not that difficult. Do you know how soon the pathway is to citizenship or getting a passport there?
No, I don't. They don't like hand them out. Like
Citizenship? Are you fucking serious? Okay, so yeah. Do they have birthright citizenship? Like, I believe, yeah, that's crazy because you guys are not gonna bring your own American women and have a child in Colombia, because you guys hate your own you hate your own American women. You shit on them. So birthright citizenship is counterproductive in Colombia, even if they do have it, because you guys shit on your own American women. So like, yeah, I mean, you could, I guess, pay. You could, if you're a multi-millionaire, I guess you can pay an American woman. Like, yo, let's smash. Let's go down to Colombia. They smash. Just try to stay there for like for 9 months, have that baby, so we can become Colombian. So I can become a Colombian citizen. Like, I don't know.
Like candy though.
Yeah, I've heard that.
They're not super easy.
So that's it so far for the questions. Otherwise, the other part is just a 3-minute video.
Oh yeah, so yeah, what Austin's gonna have in his course, so you'll be able to pick a city. Well, Kenya's a country. What's the city in Kenya?
Nairobi's the only one you need to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they'll be like Nairobi, or Medellin, Colombia, Bogota, Colombia, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and then aside from all the things we're gonna have in there, which is safety, where to stay, cultural differences, how black men are treated, overall foreigner advantage or wow factor.
I like how he says Medellin, Colombia, like as if that's his city. Bro, you're fucking ugly. You're a gringo. That's not your city.
Cost of living, date ideas, fun activities, common scams, English speaking rates, and visa information. There's gonna be a 3-minute video of Austin or somebody swiping on their Tinder, so you'll know, like, are the chicks thick? Are they black? Are they white? What do they look like? How do they dress? I mean, just how beautiful they are. That's all we want to know is how beautiful are they. So you get kind of a lay of the land, and you'll know more what they look like. So I guess we can open up to chat. I mean, like I said, if you're late here, safety, where to stay, cultural differences, all those.
Let's see the comment section before I end it. These dudes act like there are gurus or something. This dude, is very strange and entitled. What the fuck makes you think those females' mission in life is to seek Austin Holman or any other black man? Yeah, like Austin Holman got, he got called out by his own fans. Lots of questions on this one. First, I thought Medium was whack. Now we're selling dating courses there. Especially after Casey video slamming the city, and then I thought Password Bros were against dating coaches, but now they want to become them. I guess the whole goal is to take over the market share. I doubt Casey can hold women with his awkward energy after getting them on dating sites. With the bullshit dating guru shit, especially international, it's not needed. So they're calling Austin out for being with a dating coach. No, that fell out. Oh God, no, not QB. This guy is fucking weird. Casey is very smart. Well done, Casey. I thought Median was whack nowadays though. Well, that would not happen. The worst hood in Detroit. Don't do my city like that, bro. Casey is very smart. Well, why? That would only happen in the worst hoods in Detroit. Don't do my city like that, bro. Blah blah blah. How is a property cost and investing opportunity?
Those things that I just mentioned right now, that's going to be in this product. If you're late here, those are things we already covered. What did we forget? What do you guys want to know?
About Medellin.
Yeah, about Medellin specifically. Talk Venezuelan girl. Yeah, Venezuelan girls are amazing. Actually, those are my favorite girls, and there's a ton of them in Mini. A lot of them have migrated in there. And they have the exact same look as Colombian girls or Paisa girls, whatever you want to call it. They range from light skin, brown skin, and they have a very, very similar, beautiful, curvy look with very symmetrical, beautiful faces and like good teeth. But they don't have that fucked up Pablo Escobar narco culture that's all about fast money, lie, cheat, sell drugs, sell your body, do this and that. They're much more educated in terms of like morals and like actual like book education. Is it true that Medellin has a school that teaches women how to? Yes, that's true, Ozzy. They have, I think it's the only one, unless someone, another country copied them. But yeah, Medellin has a school for webcam models.
Wow.
Like how to get more money out of the guys, basically how to be a better trick, a virtual trick, basically, I guess. And I don't know, probably I don't even know what they would teach them. How to not feel awkward when you're jacking off in front of a stranger. I don't know. That's where the one should be. Yeah, and that should tell you a little bit of something about the culture. I would say this too, specifically about Medellin. Understand that it's probably a better destination for short-term fun. Let's just leave it at that. Short-term intimacy, short-term fun, and you're probably not going to find a long-term wife or girlfriend unless it's like.
Yeah. Colombian men, yeah, they can definitely get a wife in Medellin. They can get a wife in Antioquia, but not you. You guys are bitches. You look fucking ugly. You literally have a fucking rash on your fucking head. Like, I'm sorry, bro. You guys look so fucking ugly. Colombian men, Latino men are the most attractive men on planet Earth. We're taking over. We're the most smartest. Latinos are the most smartest people on planet Earth. We're taking over.